lifestyle for me. So the big thing with the airlines is the bigger the airplane, the bigger the newer the airplane, the more money they'll pay you. Like so, if you're flying a 777, it's different than flying like one of their smaller, little small regional airplanes, right?
Yeah.
And then it's the amount of days that you work, so you get kind of a guaranteed amount of hours that you get a month. But then on top of that, you can fly extra, and there's even some days where you're sitting there on standby once again because they could call you. You're getting paid sometimes time and a half. So there's different games you can play at the airlines, like selling. You can put up the time that you're supposed to work on the board so other people can take it as extra time. And then since you gave away your days, now you're available. And then at the last minute, because they can't fill a flight because you live in that city, you can take one of these last minute flights and get double pay and replace your hours. So they play all these weird games on the commercial side to make more money. But some of these dudes are making 400, 500, 600,000. Some of the really, really, really senior dudes are making $1 million a year. Airlines and flying is one of the few jobs where working for somebody else that you can become a millionaire in about 3 years once you get some seniority.
Yeah, man. I used to anyway, I ain't gonna get into that, but I used to see some pilots that worked at Delta pulling up their Lamborghinis, man.
Dude, Coca-Cola commercial pilots make $275 base plus a 60% bonus. That puts you at 430.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
And that's starting.
Yeah, I've got a client that he has 3.5 years, about 3.5 years, close to 4 years, and he's clocking right at about 8 or 9.
Somebody's gonna watch
You can
the
see.
video. Orders. Well, no, it wasn't that.
This is the reason why you rebutted to the first statement about
Let me moderate now, please.
Mhm.
It's about court orders, and there's no way around that. Court orders.
No, it wasn't about court orders. It was part and parcel of the conversation that we're having about what the court had laid out.
So you agree that.
And they weren't orders.
So, okay,
But I'm not,
so
I'm
now
not
you agree.
disputing the fact. I'm not disputing the fact that Hamas is not a sovereign state, so therefore, effectively, they can't rule Hamas to do that. But
All right, let me
I
read
never
something.
disputed that.
Then why did you bring it up?
Read something.
What do you
Then
mean,
why
why
did you
did
bring
I
it up?
bring it up?
No, why did you bring up this piece? I want to know, real quick.
I'll tell you why I brought it up, because you hadn't mentioned anything about the hostages. All you had spoken
Hold
about.
on. Why did you bring up
Israel
this
hasn't mentioned
particular?
anything about the hostages.
Hold on, hush,
in
real quick.
months.
We'll let Pikachu speak. I want to know why he brought up this being said. Where were we?
Because the court has ordered the
I'm
hostages
not
to
talking.
be
I'm
released.
talking. Let Pikachu speak.
Well, we're also
Let
here.
Pikachu
You've got
speak.
people.
Let
You've got the fat
Pikachu
guy. You've got the fat guy in the background.
Go ahead, Pikachu.
With the cocaine.
I don't know why he's interrupting. Go ahead, Pikachu.
Nobody's interrupting.
You are. Go ahead, Pikachu.
Can I read to you from the document,
It
please?
is Pikachu's.
I am talking to Pikachu. Pikachu, why did you bring up this?
I'll tell you why I brought it up. I brought it up because your focus was what the court had required Israel to do. But not at one point did you mention what the court had required Hamas to do.
Got you.
Okay, that's why I brought it up.
That's it. I mean, is there anything else you wanted to add to that? Any other reason why you brought it up?
No, that's the reason why I brought
Okay,
it up.
perfect. So again, my point was they cannot legally order them to do anything.
But I never disputed that.
Well, I don't understand why you would bring that up in a
Pikachu.
situation in which, because the point was the order for this is what the court legally was able to order for Israel. That's what was being brought up, just like you said.
I
Okay?
want to read to you from the document, please.
Hold on, Normo, so we can just chop this up real quick, and then you can go ahead and talk about whatever you want to talk about. So you bringing it up, it's not even it's not even a fair argument. It doesn't even make any sense.
Right.
There's no legal order here.
Cannot legally require Hamas to do anything.
Yeah. So that whole thing was a whataboutism.
It was a whataboutism for sure, and it wasn't even
It's
equal.
not what about it is. Just listen.
Absolutely
In the
is.
present case, well, listen to what the court says. In the present case, the court has emphasized that all parties to the
Oh no, where'd he go?
Oh my God. Andy, did you have something to
you
add?
might get paid less.
Come off mic and make a comment.
Dude, that shit was
Yeah,
hilarious.
how much shit I take on Clubhouse because of like I'm like, I don't care to be street. I think it's funny to be the court terms.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand. Like, what are people worried about? Like, you're not fully transparent in what you're saying. Like, aren't people saying the truths? Like, what are you concerned about?
I was like, I love it. They were like, in the Deep State Patriots, I was like, if it's being recorded, my podcast, please give me a follow for a follow.
Hashtag follow for a follow. But yeah, dude, I'm causing. It's amazing because like this is actually politics in the sense that like he's posting my content. Like if I actually had donations set up, there are people that dislike him, and they would perpetuate saying, .com. And I'm using Wix, an Israeli, website platform.
Oh yeah, it's a great platform. Yeah.
So I got to go get my bank account set up, but I'm gonna try to fundraise off of. And I have to communicate, and raise money so I can run ads in these cities and towns.
Communication is business.
That's it. What else can I do? I mean, they're doing the same thing that I'm doing, but they don't like the fact that I am bottling them or framing them or putting them in a lens, and they can't control it. And they're going to get me deplatformed from social media. I've had threats now to burn my house down, to assassinate me, to hire hitmen to kill me.
Who's done that? Who said that?
In Jeff's room, Rafi.
Oh god, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, dude, I'm recording you. Like, you're literally making murder death threats on the internet against a congressman who's elect. I mean, are you stupid? Do I need to call the FBI? Like, are they fucking stupid? I mean, I'll cause drama about it. I got the recordings. It's crazy. Are they that's stupid?
Amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, so this is sociology and psychology 101, but like, I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. Like, what I'm doing is the only thing that I think is going to work, for my life. So, I hope it all works out. But like, to make online death threats against me is pretty serious a violation of the law. And so Jeff created a room today saying it's not wrong to attack and dox anonymous, people, things like that. Anyways, I hope you have a great day.
Buddy, it's 1 p.m. here, 1:05, and I burned 971 active calories.
I'm gonna go to the gym right now and get on that treadmill. I'll see you on Instagram. Huh.
I did about 30 minutes on the treadmill, but I did about 50 minutes of full body weight circuit this morning.
Nice.
And some yoga.
Oh wow. Oh you.
Yeah.
Oh, wait till Friday night comes. The Shekhinah is coming for you.
Bro, I've lost like almost 50 pounds.
Really?
In about 7 months, yeah.
Well, whatever you do, don't post a before and after photo on your dating profiles. Because whenever I see a girl who posts her fat photos next to her new semi-fat photos, I'm immediately turned off knowing that person was once a fat person.
That's fantastic.
Anyways, do a taint check and I'll talk to you soon.
Alright, taint check, go.
Okay, bye. Do a taint check.
Military installations of Israel. Yes, they did take innocent civilians. Yes, killed innocent people. They used the same tactic that Israel has been doing to them for generations. So I don't judge them for that. That's between them and God.
Israel
But the
burns
reality
babies.
is,
Israel
yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
So
Yes.
Mike, Andy, go ahead, resistance and Andy.
As he mentioned, being that he mentioned children, which is despicable that he even utters the word when Israel has killed more than 30,000 children in this genocide. 30,000 babies burnt, named, and obliterated by Israel. We've seen all the videos. We have all the evidence. The world knows that Israel is a rogue terrorist state, proxy terrorist regime for America.
So you started the war.
They are the ones. Israel started the war when they invaded. Israel started the war when they went and did the Nakba 48 with the help of, once again, the American colonizers who try to allocate the land of the indigenous population to you European scum. You guys came there begging for the Middle Easterns to embrace you as their cousins in faith, and when you guys came there, you started stealing and robbing Who were the Europeans in America to allocate anything to you people? Those Palestinian people who are there are not only indigenous, but their ancestors are the real Jews. You guys are just mad that they started converting into Islam.
All right, now.
Let me ask you a question.
You know, none of that matters. None of it matters at the end of the day, man. None of it matters at the end of the day. Because look, to be honest with you, this is what it boils down to. I understand how y'all feel about morality part, the morality side of it. Like, we can sit here and argue about who's right, who's wrong, till the cows come home. But at the end of the day, like, what it boils down to is just whoever wins. Right? Like, you got two people who believe they're supposed to be on this land, man. You got two
What are
people
you
who
talking
feel
about?
like-
Get out of my way. We were literally talking about something specific. I don't need Martin Luther King Jr. talking about right now. Listen to me close. Listen to me close. I'm talking about something specific. It's not your invitation to have a speech right now. Thank you. Otherwise. And now, resistance, thank you for all of that. You were supposed to just state your rebuttal. Okay? Right? Your direct one to Andy, so he can go ahead and let's get organized. I don't know what I'm gonna say. I don't believe this one. Because you're not I can't believe this.
Okay, yeah, so my apologies for that, but yeah, the direct response is that all the evidence points to genocide. All the genocidal historians have stated this is genocide. Not only that, the ex-prime ministers of Israel, 2 of them, have stated that Israel are committing genocide and war crimes.
His point was that they didn't kill enough Palestinians for considered genocide. They kill enough in a certain amount of time.
No, they're definitely killing
That's what Andy said.
intentionally because of the faith and because they're Arabs. They clearly stated that they want to ethnically cleanse Gaza.
So
They want all of the
And
Arabs.
they don't like Arabs.
I get you. We just lost this point at this point. And that's what's going to happen the whole time if we're not organized. Like, I'm not getting at your resistance.
Your mic is a little bit muffled, Mama.
Oh, thank you for that. Is that better?
A little bit.
Okay. Try something else. Is this better?
Way better.
Thank
Yeah.
you. All right, cool. We lost his point, Can't keep it a specific point, and he ran. See, we have
That's
to
like 3 Zionists down.
or 3 down. We've got
Word
to be,
Wednesday.
we literally have to be organized because we're all over the place. We will get to everybody's fucking point, my goodness. But if we're gonna lose the piece, somebody's gonna say something, all right? And it may be something strong, worth responding to, and we need to hear the direct response back. And then when that's closed up, right? Closed out, we'll go to the next one. Isn't that the best approach?
Yeah, sure.
Or you guys just want to start screaming different shit, and we can go somewhere else for all that.
Yeah, I think it's hard though when you have the number of Zios that come into these rooms and try and dominate stages. I think it makes it difficult for some.
I will go ahead. So that, guess what? I will figure that out though. Don't worry about that. But one thing we were going to do is be direct. There's no other way around it. All the little distractions.
No, I'm not.
No, I got you.
Things you just said. I'm just saying that I know who they are, so I watch them coming.
Oh yeah.
The Normals, the Pikajus, the Zeds.
So
I see the style.
There's a chat.
What is your opinion of what's been going on so far?
Who is she asking?
You just explained it.
I have a question.
Oh yeah. Okay, sorry. I didn't hear.
All right, go ahead, point, and then I'll go after you.
All these threats and all this International Court of Justice documents, etc. I just have a simple question. Actually, I got a couple, but you know me, I'll just ask one. How many people total have been killed since in Gaza? Total. To date.
No one really knows the numbers. Too many people in the piles.
I mean, none of it matters at the end of the day. Like, y'all so focused on what's right, what's wrong. Y'all so focused on
Cowboy, didn't I just move you out the way, Cowboy? Come on now.
It's not approximate because I can show you other people, such like Save the other humanitarian organizations who say that they believe it's anywhere from 150 to 200,000.
So now my second, here comes my second and then my third question. My second question is of those.
Am I not allowed to speak? Am I not allowed to speak in here or what?
Just be, you have to follow the conversation.
As soon as I'm finished, as soon as I'm finished, cowboy. 1 second, and I'll pass it to you. Of that approximate 1 to 200,000, let's say that's the number. How many of those were Hamas fighters?
Hamas won't release those numbers. They don't want to. You have to ask them.
Well, when Piers Morgan asked the representatives of Israel, none of them seem to have the answer.
Okay, no answer, no problem. No problem. So now my final question is, how many children under the age of 6 have been killed?
No accurate source of the information.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
Hamas is not an accurate source of the information.
It's not coming from Hamas.
Wait,
It's coming from the
who
Gaza
are you
ministry.
asking question to? Were you asking resistance?
The Gaza ministry is controlled by Hamas.
Wow. Were you asking resistance?
They're asking the room. They're asking the room.
What? Can you shut the fuck up?
No, would you shut the fuck up, please?
Point.
Oh, they've answered me adequately. I got my answers. I got it at the end before I asked. It was all rhetorical.
Yes, because they estimate from the age of 6 down. I believe they said it was 10,000 from the ages of 6 years old down.
There's never been a war in which kids didn't die, unfortunately.
If you're if you're alleging only, like that guy down there, Moose said, if you're alleging 50-something thousand people only died in Gaza, like he tried to say, you're telling me you killed half of that of children? Because they're estimating 25 to 30,000 children.
Well, you just said
So
10,000.
if you guys are so more, no, that's from the age of 6 down, you idiot.
So what are you defining child as, idiot?
As what they say, international people say, it's from the infant to the age of 18.
Resistance.
18 is a child now?
That's what they say. That's their laws, their
18
rules.
you're in the army.
Resistance.
Resistance. I mean, I'm
The
sorry.
fact that even one dead child is not considered an atrocity speaks volumes.
Sure they are. Sure it's an atrocity.
It's not atrocity to them because it's not Jewish children, they're not white.
It just depends if
Exactly.
it was intentional or not. No, it just depends
Because
if it
they're
was
not
intentional or not.
Jewish.
It has nothing to do with whether they're Jewish or not. You don't know if they're Jewish. Why are you assuming that the ones that are killed are not Jewish?
Because there's no Jews that live in Gaza, and you know that.
Well, why are there no Jews that live in Gaza?
Because hold on, I can easily answer it. Because the Israeli government decided to move all of the Jews who were occupying Gaza out of Gaza. The Israeli government chose to
How
do
about
that.
all the Jews that are for Palestine? Where are they? How come they're not in Gaza?
The Jews in Palestine are in Gaza and the West Bank, a place where you guys are illegally settling also.
Jews were removed
Let
from
me ask
Gaza
Nora a
in
question. Hey,
2005.
Nora, what do you think of what about Arab Israelis being denied access to a fucking bomb shelter in Israel right now while it's going on?
For everybody.
While the bombing's going on. What do you think of that?
There's videos on his social media. It shows Israelis pushing them out, the Thai people out also. There's videos showing it.
There's room for everybody.
Shame on you. Shame on
Your TikTok, shame on you. Your TikTok videos are not evidence. You want to go back to the document though, because the document was clear and it contradicted what Panda said. I've been waiting to read from the document.
Actually, no.
Once again, she clearly stated the document is not binding by Hamas regardless, so it doesn't matter what the document says from the court. Because the only people who are binded by that document would be Israel, a democratic country.
Well, you better let me read from the document because you're wrong about that, and I can read it to you from the document. You ready to hear it? Hello?
Read.
Okay. I'll read
Can
to
we
you
go
from
back
the
to
document.
casualty counts?
Hamas is bound by the document. Hamas is bound by the court.
room.
They never said it was
This is
my
not
room.
your room. Did you
They never
ask?
said it was my room.
All right,
Did you ask?
then ask the moderators. Ask the moderators.
I just did, and you were talking over them.
Continue to explain.
Excuse me, can we get back to the casualty counts? How many Israelis were killed from the Iranian strikes?
We're not talking about Iran. We're talking about Palestine and Hamas. Which one we just
Actually, we're
focus
talking
on?
about Gaza.
Just a
Can
question.
everybody look at the chat? I just put it in by UNICEF, one of the most premier people who do all this. They're saying
What
that
is
there's
their
50,000
source?
children. What is
There's
that?
actually, I'm trying to look
What
for
is
this
that
study,
source?
but there's a
Look
Harvard,
at the chat, my brother.
there's a
Look at
Harvard
the source.
study done
I
that's
seen
saying
it. I seen it.
the
I
amount
seen
of
it.
death has increased in God.
I just put it out. I also seen it too. Thank you, Wednesday, for
Do
reminding
you
me that.
know where it's
So
at?
Harvard
Because I
yesterday
couldn't
put
find
out
the
a
original
report.
source.
No, it isn't. Harvard source is Hamas, really?
Yes.
You're an idiot, man. You
No, you're
really
the
are
idiot. Where did
sometimes.
their source?
Their source actually came from NBC and other sources. Go read the article yourself.
I
And
thought you
they're
said there
stating
were no journalists.
150 to 200,000 people have already been slaughtered.
It's been undercounted, the death.
It ain't. I'll tell you that much.
Genocide.
Hold on.
A minute ago you said nobody
guys.
knows. Now you're saying somebody else knows, but you don't have their source. Not very.
No, this
I do
guy's
get the
so
point.
disingenuous.
Look, I do get the point that the numbers are morphed. That is true, and I'm not saying neither party's right or wrong on both ends of the spectrum. But it is true that sometimes they morph the number.
Hold on, Paul. Let me give you this little information you might or might not know.
I'd like to get back
According to the United States, in every conflict the Gazans and the Palestinians have gotten in with Israel, the numbers have always matched.
No, but
They were always similar. This coming from the United States.
Here's my point.
Yeah,
Here's my
sure.
point. Right, back in Vietnam. Back in
Link,
Vietnam.
resistance.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, but back in Vietnam, hold hear me out real quick. When Vietnam was occurring, one of the best ways for them to account for how many Vietnamese people were killed was it was a thing called beers and ears. Beers and ears meaning for every ear, every left ear you get, it's a beer because a left ear can identify a
That's
person.
disgusting.
Right. Exactly. That's how they used to do their mark count. That's how you do a casualty count, or that's how you do an actual count. When you have bombs exploding in certain, this is known as Vietnam.
Would you be quiet a minute and talk? He does this all the time. Oh, you're moderator.
Go ahead.
We're just asking for sources. It's fair.
No, I'm just saying. Usually, when bombs explode and you're actually being hit with certain like strikes, it's hard for you to account because of the implosion of body parts. So whereas you might at one point, if you shot a bunch of people, it's different because you can probably like go through the mangled parts and figure out every left arm or like every left ear. But in this situation, a lot of people are just mangled out and just kind of like, you know what I mean? Like it's just a lot of just splattered. You feel what I'm saying? So it's hard to identify a lot of these people. So even if there was a group of 30 in a certain area and a fucking strike comes, it's hard to identify if it was 30, if it was 15, if it was 20, because you're not going to have left ears. You're not going to have right ears. You're not going to have a left arm or right
You
arm.
have in the first place. I mean, Israel keeps close count of its people. It's a little bit different than Gaza, but we'll know after the war.
We technically won't know, to be honest with you, right? Because everybody wants to be happy. We won't.
I mean, once we finish
We won't because it's all
It's
all more.
It's really actually pointing to we won't really because not only does Israel do not allow international journalists into the country because they know they're going to be exposed to the war crimes, it will also be covered up by the Americans diplomatically and by the Europeans. So, you know, the colonizers always...
Actually, the international journalist Douglas Murray was there and wrote a book about it.
He's not an international journalist. He is a facade puppet that goes in there with the Israeli people who are going to commit genocide. That's super unbiased.
Then there's the international journalist John Spence writing for Newsweek, who calls Israel the IDF, the most moral army in the world.
We know he's not moral, so what do we care what an unmoral...
You don't know. He's a professor at the War College at West Point, the foremost expert on urban warfare.
He knows nothing but killing innocent people.
You said there were no journalists allowed in. I just named two who've written extensively about it.
Independently. No, there isn't.
Yes, there is.
Not one independent journalist. No,
Yes,
they all went in there with the IDF. They all went in with the IDF.
There's nothing not independent, but you cannot go into a war zone.
Yes, you can. Journalists have been doing it for decades. Yes, they do.
Yeah,
actually, that's my profession.
Yes, they can. This is what I mean. He's a liar. He's a known compulsive liar.
You will get killed if you...
Even Piers Morgan has argued this back. contact with these people.
Yeah.
Independent journalists have always been allowed into any war zone. It's up to their companies.
And I just think
resistance is right though. It's just that what you're saying here is that. But you see, what resistance is saying is that they don't want people to be a part of the ground because then they want to create the perception, like as if many people were dead, as what they assumed. They would have it all over.
Be part of the
like
ground.
They would. Well, listen to what I'm saying.
And we let people finish their thought.
Trying to
They
understand
don't want
this,
people on the ground because if more people were there, they'll kind of see the gist. Israel is one of the countries of America that can literally be. You can be a Jewish American citizen and you can fight for the Israeli army. In itself, that's fucking insane. So
why
that in itself should tell you something.
Why is that insane?
Because no other country, no other citizen from any other country in the world that lives here can go back to their country as an American citizen and fight for their country. That's fucking insane. You cannot be a British citizen and fight for the British army as an American citizen. No.
Yes, actually you can. We have that agreement with Britain. You're just wrong. We do that frequently with Britain. Yeah, we frequently do this with British. Yeah, we do. I did it in Thomas Lovecraft, Bosnia.
There's the only time when the lying colonizer is telling a fact. Americans are allowed to fight in the British Army also. All those colonizing countries, yes, they are. Americans do fight for France also, the Brits. They fight for the Israelis. Americans fight for the Israelis. Brits, Poles.
Yeah,
they all do it.
Joint partnerships. We think
yes, partnership and colonizing and murdering innocent people in the Middle East and Asia.
Yes, they do. Colonizing. In this case, we're decolonizing.
1 second, please. Rohan, hold on 1 second. Can y'all hear me okay? Sorry.
You're good.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Rohan, you just came off of mic. I just want to make sure you don't have anything to say.
I was looking excited that Americans can fight in the British Army. I did say that Americans are not automatically eligible, but they can apply if they have indefinite leave to remain in the UK. So, or they're part of a specific recruitment program where the British Army accepts non-Commonwealth applicants. It doesn't really seem like it's a thing, but there seem to be some loopholes that you can make it happen if you live indefinitely in the UK.
The armies work together. This is not uncommon. Allies work
That's
together.
why a lot of Americans have these dual citizenships in Israel and in UK.
So thanks for that clarity, Rohan. What are your thoughts on the conversation so far? There's only been one question to the room, or maybe two, but it's related. Is what's happening in Gaza considered genocide? Okay.
Well, the ICJ did not say that.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to you. I'm asking Rohan for his thoughts so far, then we'll get back on the floor. Okay.
Yeah. So is what's happening in Gaza considered genocide? And we went down a couple different paths. If it's courts or if it's just like the word genocide. Seems to me like the word genocide just seems it's pretty obvious. On the court side, it appears that the courts are still deliberating. However, they've found that the accusations made by South Africa were plausible enough. They were plausible enough that they followed the suggestions that South Africa maintained in their application and said, and listed a whole host of things that they were ordering Israel to stop doing. And that included things that fit under the specific definition of genocide. And if people are talking about intent, in the court filings to the top of the room, they listed the ways that intent could be recognized. They talked about calling people animals. They talked about depriving people of medicine and food. They talked about mass killings. They talked about claims about turning the city into a tent city, a host of other things that were made by people in political leadership that will point to an intent to eradicate Palestinians. So with that being said, I think at least where we're at right now, the courts are still deliberating, but they found the claims plausible enough. And then finally, I think it was 2024 that Panda brought up the courts, the ICC specifically ordered Israel to stop attacks in, I think it was Raja. And Raha, and they claimed, and the reason why they made that order was because it felt like a genocide was imminent. So that's kind of it. I'm just trying to kind of give a summary of everything. T. Does that help?
That does help. Thank you so much.
You left out one little other point.
So,
Well, Rohan was close.
hold on, please. Hold on, please, as we get organized. What point was left out, if you can make it quick?
The ICJ also issued arrest warrants for Bibi Netanyahu and Ben Gvir for war crimes of starvation and attacking innocent civilians.
All right.
That was the ICC. You're raising
The ICC.
All right, that's okay. All right, so Rohan was just going over, just a summary of the room, and we're going to continue on. You guys can add whatever.
I'd like to refine what Rohan said.
Okay, go ahead, Norman.
Yeah, thank you very much. So it's close but not quite accurate. What the ICJ did was it found it plausible, not that Israel was committing a genocide. The ICJ found it plausible that the Gazans might need protection from a genocide, and they had a list of what Israel must do in order to avoid that genocide, a long list of various protections, and Israel fulfilled every single of the requirements on that. No, you're the liar, sir. Israel fulfilled every one of the requirements the ICJ made of them to avoid the plausibility of the needing of a protection from the genocide. Again, not that Israel was committing a genocide, but that the Gazans might need protection. Plausibly need protection from a genocide, and Israel complied fully with all of those requirements, which is why the ICJ didn't stop the war. They had the power to do so, and they didn't. And I should add, by the way, that they also stated clearly that Hamas fell under they fell under the rulings of international law.
How many Hamas fighters are left? How many
Let's
Hamas
forget about that point. How dare he come here and say that they complied with what the ICJ said?
Every one of them.
When they put a blockade of medicine, food, water, electricity for almost 4 months, 120 days, the Gazan people were starving. 4-month blockade. Is this guy insane?
No, I'm just telling you.
They were committing genocide. That's why they said it was plausible. The whole meaning of plausible is that you could be even doing acts that could be considered genocide. That was the point of them saying plausibility.
No, but they might need.
And then they went and put a blockade.
All right.
And those protections were provided, and there is no genocide because the whole national ethnic group has not been exterminated.
They're trying to exterminate them. That's the point of genocide.
No, they're not. There's more people now than there were in the beginning. There are more Gazans.
No, there isn't, you fool. The population was 2.2 million almost, and now they're estimating it to be into 1.
All right, I'm going to ask that question now.
They have 400,000 people.
All right, let me ask this question then. So I'm listening, and I guess we're leaning heavily on the court rulings and what's technically considered genocide. So this is for research purposes only. I just want to I'm not here to really push back unless it's inaccurate or whatever, right? So I'm just understanding how people think and listening. So I'm guessing, just from what I've heard, let's do this. Like, so it's say in 1942, right? If you saw Jews herded into cattle cars, gassed, and buried in mass grave sites, you'd be trying to convince people that it wasn't genocide. Then, is that correct?
Where are you getting your hypotheticals from? Where are you getting your
This is a scenario. If it were in 1942, and you saw Jews herded into cattle cars and gassed and buried in mass grave sites, would you be trying to convince people that it isn't genocide?
What was the stated intent? You left out the intent.
Oh yeah.
What was the stated intention of the Nazis?
Where's the proof of intent?
It's in writing.
In 1942, remember, it wasn't ruled crime against humanity.
I guess you didn't hear about
Hold on, Norma, you can do it. It wasn't ruled until what? After was the
Nuremberg court ruled it a genocide.
Was it afterwards?
Yes, of course it was afterwards.
Yeah, that's where you have all of your evidence.
Now, as it's going on, like the Gaza conflict is, right?
Yes, and
during the time, would you be trying to convince people that genocide is not occurring.
Well, there was no finding that is going on right now.
Okay, so then your answer would be yes, I would be. I would say, hey, this is not genocide.
Why would I say that?
There's no, huh?
Because they're Jew, that's why they're hypocrites.
What do you mean?
Well, the
Why
evidence
did you
is
say that?
overwhelming.
The evidence
Well, I'm sorry, hold on, resistance, not in 1940.
The evidence was overwhelming in 1942.
What proof of
How?
intent?
No one even in North America knew what was going on.
Hold on, resistance, 1 second,
This
please.
dude is a weird.
What we need today in this conversation to say it's a genocide, and this is by, I think Pikachu, made this point, we need the proof of intent or the evidence of intent and other things, but we're stuck right here on intent. The proof of intent wasn't around, or there was no evidence in 1942. So
Well, there was
in
ample
that year,
evidence, we just ignored it.
and they proved, what was it then? What was it in 1942? What was the proof of intent?
Well, it's very easy to tell you this. The Jewish people were taken from their homes, put on trains, and sent to camps by the millions. The intent of that is very clear, unless you can think of it.
How did people in North America know this was going on in Europe at that
Because it was
time?
reported in the New York Times.
How?
If I can speak, I
Because there were correspondents reporting it in the
Let me
New
ask
York
Panda
Times.
for her guess, because I'm not
The
getting
whole world knows.
that clear. Panda,
The whole world knows. It's all
Panda.
reported.
Yeah.
You have to read a newspaper.
from what you've seen on the stage today, if we were in 1942,
an apology for
and you saw Jews herded into, or you or anyone else on stage, right? How would this conversation today, this conversation we're having here today, go in 1942? If there were Jews being herded into cattle cars, gassed and buried in mass grave sites, okay?
Yeah.
Would people be trying to convince people that it wasn't genocide?
Absolutely.
Why would they do that?
No, I would absolutely.
Wait, I don't understand.
Stop, Normal, let me hear her.
I would
Why
absolutely.
would they do that?
Oh, you don't want to stop, that's okay, go, bitch.
And if I'm understanding the question correctly, I would absolutely, if I saw Jews being herded to trains going to I would absolutely say that there is a genocide happening.
Can I say something?
But if you were to go by, one second, but if you were to go by what they need today, right? I'm saying take Pikachu's. Sorry, the name. Take Pikachu's reasoning, all right, and what he needs in order to call something genocide, right? So we need proof of intent and everything like that. So now, answered by Pikachu's.
He needs the ICJ ruling.
He needs ICJ ruling or Nuremberg. All that shit was ruled after.
Yeah, then I would say that it was not a genocide.
Not a genocide, and then and if you were to go follow Pikachu's logic, you'd be sitting up convincing people, no.
Yeah, that's right.
Hell no. It's not. No, it's not genocide. I'm only following your logic. It's one mic on.
Holocaust inversion now. This is your problem.
I don't know what that means. One mic on point.
I'll tell you what Holocaust.
No, you won't. I'll let point go, and then it'll be on you. It will be on point, then you.
I'd like to speak after Paul,
Thank you
please.
so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I've been listening, and I think the reason there's an impasse of whether Israel calls it a genocide or not, or from your point of view, it is a genocide. There's a missing piece in between, and that missing piece is Project Lavender, which I've never heard any of you mention. And if you read about Project Lavender, and I'll just read you a little bit. The Israeli army has marked tens of thousands of Gazans as suspects for assassination using an AI targeting system with little human oversight and a permissive policy for casualties. Now, what does that mean? That means most of it's AI done, and there's no human connection between the Israelis and the murders of genocide. So I will refer you people to look up an article that goes, Lavender, the AI machine directing Israel's bombing spree in Gaza. And I called this out a year and a half ago. People were saying, I don't know what I'm talking about. I was like, okay. I was like, I know more about Palantir than you do. I trade on the stock market. So I went, okay. So that's why you have this impasse of there's no genocide. Blah, blah. So that's why I asked the question before. Remember the 3 questions I asked? How many people have been killed? Okay, basically 100. Let's use the number 100,000. There were only 25,000 Hamas fighters prior to October 7th, the Israeli press has even confirmed there's only about 18,000 left. So do the math. If 100,000 were killed and you barely got 18,000 fighters, what would have done that, folks? The only thing that would have done that is callousness, number one, but more importantly, Project Lavender. So I'd appeal to you to go look this up because most people don't have a clue as to what I'm saying. Now, Normal probably does, but that he knows you all don't, so he's gaslighting you. So go look up what the fuck Project Lavender is. Go look up Peter Thiel, who runs it, then you'll go, holy shit. But I'll wait for you to do that after you do your research.
Okay, can I speak now, Moms?
Sure, thank you.
Thank you so much.
There'd be no response to what I just said. Oh, I knew that.
Oh, I said thank you, point. Love it.
No, not you. No, I'm talking about those who are proponents of what's happening in Gaza, and then I have a count, and I don't know how many kids are dead. That's the reason they talk that way. It's because of fucking Project Lavender. So go look it up.
Can I make a comment? Hold on 1 second, please. I thought I was next. It's my turn to speak. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I thought I was next.
No, it's on him. He has to speak. I didn't hear it.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. It is actually Pikachu. Sorry about that, Pikachu. Then you're right.
No, it's okay.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
I won't be long. I wanted to bring up this idea of Holocaust inversion, because Holocaust inversion is when people accuse Israel of being like Nazi Germany, especially in Gaza.
Yeah,
They all like Nazi Germany. They all like Nazi Germany.
It's more than
I'm shocked you're not speaking on Project Lavender. I'm shocked. You have not a peep out of you.
It's more than criticism, because it distorts history, and weaponizes Jewish trauma.
And you tell us about Lavender.
We're going to talk about Project Lavender in detail then. Okay.
Can I finish?
Go ahead, Pikachu.
I just want to say, it's a form of anti-Semitism when used to demonize and not debate. You can call out injustice, I get that all day long. Just don't rewrite genocide to do it. Okay?
Okay, let me talk to you. So who is that in response to, Pikachu, so we can make sure your point is heard?
It was in response to, I don't know who was speaking earlier, somebody who was trying to weaponize Israel and Jewish trauma in relation to what's going on in Gaza by using the Holocaust and conflating. That was you? Okay. Yeah. Well, just be careful with what you say, because using those sorts of parameters are very different.
Let me make sure I understand what you're saying. So what I did was introduce a question, right, to see how people think, right? Because there's like different schools of thought, is what it seems. That's what I've gathered. Some people are heavily reliant on a ruling or what is defined and what proof is necessary. Okay, and that is the big thing there. Okay, so some people are very confused. They're finding it to be dishonest, intellectually dishonest, disingenuous, and so on and so forth. And I'm saying, hey, maybe these are just different schools of thought, where one is heavily reliant on these requirements via per ICJ. All right. So what I did was goes back into 1942. All right, and I said if Jews were herded into cattle cars, gassed, and buried in mass graves, would you have that same school of thought?
Can you
please let him finish?
Okay. Equating complex military conflict with systematic extermination of 6 million Jews during the Holocaust is false equivalence. You can't do it. The Holocaust was state-sponsored genocide with the sole aim of total annihilation.
Please let him finish. It's okay, resistance. Please let him finish. What I want to do, right, is see, like, because you don't have equating. Listen, there are requirements that are in place.
I didn't finish my statement. I got interrupted. Sorry.
All right, so requirements in place for.
I actually got interrupted. I didn't finish saying what I was saying.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Okay. By weaponizing the Jewish trauma, Okay, it turns the memory of the Holocaust into a political weapon, and you're doing it to delegitimize Jewish identity, the history, and actually Israel's right to exist. Now, you need to understand that this is actually a recognized form of anti-Semitism, because it lists Holocaust inversion, which is what you're doing, as a common form of modern anti-Semitism, especially when it denies or trivializes the Holocaust to attack Jews or Israel. Just so you know that.
Yeah, so mischaracterizing the purpose of the question and trying to villainize me is not going to work, okay? So when I introduced the question, I don't know what anybody was going to say. I can make guesses. When I asked Panda the question, she said, yes, I would consider that genocide. But Panda has her own criteria. She is not overly reliant on the court rulings. She's not going to say it's not genocide because the courts, or it hasn't been ruled as such. It wasn't ruled till after it was done. She's not going to say, well, where's the proof of intent? She's going to see what is happening, or what was happening, and say, oh, that's genocide, and that's wrong, and something needs to be done about it. Now, you're having a hard time doing it, okay, or saying that it is genocide. If you follow your school of thought, all you have to do is follow your same methodology, right? Which was, okay, let's look at the requirements. 1 second, just let's look at the requirements and see if these requirements are fulfilled for ICJ, excuse me. So you should be doing exactly that, like you did with this, unless there's something that is going over my head. All right, so the villainization, I think it's not going to work at all for me. This could have been quick and easy. It was very quick for Panda. Yes, that's genocide. Yes. I know that wasn't. What did you say? Weaponizing and villainizing, whatever. Yeah. Jewish trauma. What did Panda answer the question? She didn't do any of that.
Because he's a Jewish supremacist and he thinks the Jewish people will slaughter and kill anyone they want in the Middle East.
All right, so now I forgot your name, but okay, you're next. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So, the Uyghurs in China were actively being genocided as far as national media was concerned. And I don't know if they still are because they're no longer a hot topic. Because the Jews have now taken the spotlight with the war crimes that people typically are committing here in the land. Because I'm speaking to you from Jerusalem, by the way. And I find it very interesting that nobody's making the connection to the German Bund, which was an organization that was active in the 1930s, that were active supporters of the National Socialist movement and supporters of the Third Reich, that were inside the United States. Doctors, our lawyers, our teachers, our congressmen, mayors, so on and so forth, all gathering in Madison State Garden, throwing up the Nazi salute, talking about how great it is to be, I guess, German and a National Socialist, even though most of American citizens. I don't know, but I feel like that's getting besides the point. If someone is going to tell me that we're actively committing genocide, but they're still trying to decide as to whether or not it's going on, there's one or two things that are happening. They're choosing how they're using that word based upon who it's being applied to and who they're talking to. Or maybe, just maybe, they're making it up to support a narrative. I myself grew up going to local court systems with my father, who was a police officer 17 years before he took public office. I know that for every ruling comes then an execution of that ruling. These bodies that we're talking about are literal kangaroo courts. Because in the event that they come to a ruling, it cannot be enforced in any way, shape, or form. They can only threaten. If you come to this country, we're going to arrest you. Fine, I won't come. Well, if you continue to do this, we're going to continue. Fine, you can condemn us. I think a lot of people are forgetting that we're currently at war. And all this back and forth chatter, not from you guys, but from like the so-called powers that be, really mean nothing in the grand scheme of the picture. And what's important is what's on the ground. And a lot of people are having a hard time remembering, and I think this is by choice, that a majority of what the Gathas are going through are being recorded by them. From their breach of the border, all the way to these apparent protests that are supposedly going on, all the way to, the supposed starvation and all of this attack. everything that is going on is of their own design. They're basically guilty of what is it called? Writing a check that their asses couldn't cash, and they're depending on a lot of people who are so far removed from the situation to speak on their behalf as if it's going to work. And I'm gonna land with this: to make the allegations of genocide stick, you would have to then explain to me, the university would then have to explain to me how videos that they are taking are showing the endless masses of children and women who are begging for help. And a lot of people culturally don't understand that this attitude of people saying that, oh, we're not Hamas, please, don't mistake us for that. When there were countless citizens running back and forth and raising the roof, throwing up peace signs to cameras, they're upset because the plan didn't work. And now somebody else has to decide how they're going to destroy the state of Israel. And I mean, good luck with that shit.
If I may, this is from the article. And I'm going to type the article in the chat. Just listen to this. And this is all about lavender. In previous wars, intelligence personnel would spend a lot of time verifying how many people were in a house that was set to be bombed, with the number of civilians liable to be killed listed as part of a target file. After October 7th, however, this thorough verification was largely abandoned in favor of automation. What is the automation? Lavender. What is it, AI? Yes. Is it 10% failable with a 10% error? Yes. So what it does is separates the soldier from the war and from the killing. If you read the article, you'll see red, yellow, and blue were the colors used by lavender to identify where a concentration of cell phones were. This is all factual stuff. When you begin to understand this, then you will understand the title of your own room. Lavender was designed to remove the human element from war. That's why no one wants to talk about it. That's why you have 100,000 to 200,000 people killed in Gaza. It's not because the Israelis were just total animals. Of course they were.
They are.
But it would facilitate. I said, of course they were. And they are.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It's happening because of lavender. So now those that are interrupting me, please tell me what you know about lavender. And I'll mute up.
Can I make a quick comment?
There, I knew that was going to be. Do you know anything about lavender, sir, first of all? Yes or no?
No.
I didn't think so. No problem.
No. Yeah, but the reason why what is going on in Gaza is not considered as genocide is because of the class of human beings that are there. You know, if it were a different class of people, it would have been classified as a genocide like real quick. Because people are being killed like animals over there, and nobody is saying anything. Nobody's able to say anything, and if you dare say anything, I mean, you are bamboozled, you are attacked, and then you are attacked as an anti-Semite. But you are just, looking out for human beings, just like any other person.
I think it's less the class of people receiving the genocide and more the class of people doing the genocide. Like, we have no problem calling shit genocide when it's like an African genocide, when it's like warlords killing other warlords, and we'll call that ethnic cleansing real quick. But as soon as it's like some fine, upstanding white folks from Europe doing a genocide, then it's not a genocide anymore. It becomes complicated.
I think it's the class of people receiving it, because...
Do you mean it's the other way around? Is that what he meant?
I think it's the class of people receiving it, not the ones doing it per se. Not the ones doing it per se, it's the ones receiving it. Okay? For instance, when you go to Africa, you go to Congo, where King Leopold killed like
and then never again, never again. But you know, slavery, what happened in Congo, and all these things, nobody knows it because nobody's allowed to talk about it. And I think this one, all these.
Exactly. What movie did they ever make of Leopold with it, what he did with the Africans? He killed like 40 million.
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. It's the class of people receiving the genocide. That is why it's not being classified as a genocide right now.
Because you only genocide only applies to white people.
Hold on 1 second, please. Hold on 1 second, please. Here's my question.
Listen.
If there is a genocide, okay, very nice, man, very nice. If this is a genocide, with the videos that they are recording, why are the videos coming out at the rapid succession that they still are? Because everybody
It's in media. What do you mean? We have the technology that everything goes out instantly. Meaning even if a bomb is coming out the sky, someone happens to have their phone out, you can still get the video out to people, whether it's Facebook, YouTube.
I get you.
Can't
hear everybody talking at once.
He asked a question, I gave him the answer.
I get you. No, you didn't.
There's a Harvard study. I found the link. Say sorry. Can you just let blank person finish? Go ahead.
It's Ariel, by the way. I don't know why my name is.
Sorry, Ariel. I'm
no,
sorry.
it's okay.
That's right. Your name.
No.
It's Ariel.
It's an HBO.
Let Ariel finish.
And he openly admits to beating his Palestinian children, by the way.
So the question still remains. If the genocide is happening, which is a severe rapid decrease, which is a severe rapid decrease of population, why is media from this population coming out still in rapid succession? Because if we were killing everybody, hold on please, because if we were killing everybody, there would be nobody from that side, almost nobody from that side left.
All right, you said that already.
Report. Hold on, madam.
You take it to you.
Okay, well, if it's a problem for you, you can leave the room.
No, because what you're saying don't make sense. They are
Guys,
trying to kill
let him finish, please.
Gotta
do it again, all right? So,
yeah, seriously.
let me hear the question clear without interruption, please.
Thank you, T. If genocide is taking place, which is the rapid decrease of the population because they're actively being killed off, why is it that media content from this population is still happening at the same rate?
What does that even mean?
No, can I answer, please? Please? Because, once again, thank God for people having brains and sense. This is not the 1940s where people could get mass murdered and no one can see it instantly and you can just get away with it. We live in a technology world now where it's very tricky for Israel to openly just kill everyone out in the open because of media, mass reporting, and the internet. So this is why they use other tools to try to genocide the Palestinians, such as starvation, which they did which it's continuously doing because everyone knows the blockade is still there. They're not letting food in. Children are dying. There's massive famine. They're using no electricity, no water, on top of drones and bombs. It's just a different format, a different methodology on how to commit the genocide. All genocides are not committed the same way, but ultimately it is to eradicate a population like Israel is doing to the Gazans and the people in the West Bank.
And it's not just eradicate. One sec, real quick. I'll just say real quick. Super quick. Literally 7 seconds. I promise. Literally 5 seconds. I promise. Time me. So again, genocide is not just killing off of people. It is also the removal of people from their lands. Thank you, Wednesday. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say I found the Harvard study. If anybody wants to look at that link, and it shows that the underreporting of the amount of murder that has been happening to the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. This is the original link. You could read everything, PDF form, everything. I just wanted to get the original link because other sources have been reporting it, but I found the original link.
So, just to rephrase the question, because there was a lot of emotional.
No. You rephrased it. You said it.
Go ahead.
And you don't like the answer. You don't like the answer.
if there's 100 people, all with media tools, and there is a genocide, which means that 85 of those people have been killed, why is the remainder of the people that are left still able to put out content as if they still have the strength and the resources and the tools of those 100 people?
Tell us why. Tell us why.
Want to measure this influx of information? How are you able to measure? Did you measure them?
That's an excellent question. How do you have any idea what the media sources are? That's incredibly.
All right, hold on for a second. Coy, did you say something?
Yeah, I put the Lavender article in the chat for those that have the heart to read it and get shocked. I'll give you some information that you don't have, as I can tell from the discussions. Kind of clueless of what really went on in Gaza and what's still going on. No, and it's not on the news. No, they're not going to put it to you that way. So I'm giving it to you. Read it if you want. You don't know. Give a fuck.
Project Lavender information is in the chat. So click on it and read it.
I'm wondering why none of I'm baffled. All these people with all these stats and representing Zionism, etc. No problem, but can you speak on Project Lavender? How come there's not a peep?
Of course. I can speak on it.
Oh, thank you.
Well, can we get your question out of the way? Then yes, we have to get into Project Lavender. Because nobody's going to click the link. So we got to just bring it to the stage in detail. So your question is if genocide is taking place, which is the rapid decrease of a population, then why is it that media from that population still being released at the same rates or something along those lines? Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So it seems like it's like a flawed assumption here, right? Where you're like equating genocide with like the erasure or the rate of erasure of a population's media output.
Not necessarily, because we're living in the age where any and everybody can record what is going on, and that is how a majority, and I'm not saying this should be insulting, I'm saying this because it's true. A majority of us in this room are observers, and there's only 1%, I don't know where anybody else lives, but I live here in this room, that's an active participant in the days and times that we're living in. And there's a need for that information to get out, so that you all can formulate, or
so if you live in Israel, can you speak on Lavender?
We will speak on Lavender right after this. Let me hear what you have to say. Because this question is super flawed, but let me understand it. Go ahead.
Okay, well, if it's flawed, please correct it as I
I just responded to it. So you said, so the question is, if genocide is taking place, which is the rapid decrease of a population, then why is it that media from that population is still being released at the same rates? So genocide is the rapid decrease of. Do you have the correct definition for genocide? Are we? Are we falsely equating genocide to the complete erasure of a population or something? Is it or is media output or is
yes,
media
ma'am.
out?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Because that's the latest dance craze that all the kids. That's the latest record all the kids are dancing to.
He's talking about
which is why. Man, please be quiet. Please be quiet. Thank you so much. Which is why it keeps being repeated. But depending upon who you're talking to, they're all the same.
I need accuracy. I don't need whatever a TikToker said. I need
exactly.
What is genocide?
Avoiding Lavender. Wow, this is the reason the discussions go nowhere. Let him speak on Lavender. He lives in Israel.
We'll speak on Lavender right after this.
That's the reason why you never get to the understanding of genocide or no genocide. It's through Lavender. Through Lavender, there's no genocide from the opposing side, because it removes the human element. So why didn't you let him speak on it? Because maybe he has a different take. This is the crux of the gospel.
And guess what I'll be doing, which is letting him speak on it right after this. He's going to speak on it. Didn't he agree to it? So go ahead. What were you saying so we can get to Lavender? Go ahead.
What I was saying was, it's all about numbers. If the same rate of information
The information is lavender. Shut the fuck up. Get to the question. Tell us about lavender. Stop trolling her. You know she doesn't know what the fuck lavender is. You can't troll me. There's no way you can troll me. So now, open your mic, and as an Israeli living there, what do you know about lavender, sir? Now watch the
I read up on them. I know about that.
No. Allow him. Watch the silence. Watch. And now
When you were speaking on lavender.
You speak on it. No, you speak on it. You live in Israel. I shouldn't be speaking on it. You should be speaking on it.
All right, Ariel, what is lavender?
You were making lavender is an AI tool that we're using in warfare to kill our enemies.
Okay. What's the next question point?
You're gonna take that as his answer?
Ariel, how are you measuring the Palestinian media output?
Remember, I don't.
Can you ask him that, please?
Guiding the questions.
Yeah, Ariel, how are you measuring Palestinian media output in correlation to the number of deaths?
What we're going to do with that, because it just takes so long, that is a flawed question. The logic is terrible. Very terrible. You know, sometimes we go and spell out how terrible the fucking logic is. That is not what genocide is. If we cannot actually say that genocide is invalidated by visibility, then no fucking shit. That question is not smart. Sorry about that, Ariel. Go ahead and tell us about lavender.
No, he's pretty not smart.
I don't need anything. Go ahead and tell us about lavender, Ariel, in detail, if you don't mind, so we can get through this.
Tell you about lavender in detail in what regard? Do you all think that I work for the military?
Whatever you know about lavender is fine. Just whatever you know about lavender, you know, let's take the defense away, and tell us what you know about lavender. If what you said is all you know, no problem. We'll move on.
Yeah, what I told you is what I know. It's an AI system that's used to help us kill our enemies in the time of warfare.
Thank you. That's it. Notice. That's it. That's all he's got. Right. So now go read the article and you'll see why he answered that way. Then you'll see the reason for your title of your room.
You said 100,000. Then you said 200,000. Which one?
No, I said based on what the audience, the stage said. I asked the question. They gave a range from 100 to 300,000. Multiple people answered my question.
So now it's 500,000.
Whatever it is, it's done by lavender. That's my point. I think it's gone over your heads. I know it's
find that problematic because.
Find what problematic? Because. Find what problematic? See?
Why is lavender so problematic?
I have no problem with it. I never stated I did.
I feel like Iran should use it on Israel.
Remove the human element from war. That's all I said.
Can you define human element?
Now you should know what that means.
Dear God.
So they're trolling
You Israeli cowards will never go on the ground and fight any of the Hamas brothers. You're using AI to kill innocent people.
Exactly. That's
and how does that make you feel?
This guy, can we he's so disingenuous.
He's not trolling me, he's trolling you guys. He knows to stay the fuck away from me. He knows I'll bury him under rubble.
I'm just disagreeing with your points, and you find that threatening for some strange reason. I don't know why.
No, but I see how they treat people of color in Israel. I see plenty of videos coming out. It was horrible.
So now we're going to play the race card.
No, I'm just saying. I just saw it about 15 minutes ago.
So now we're going to play the race card.
No, we're not playing the race card.
We're not playing the race card. We're actually reading articles that are saying Arab Israelis are being denied bomb shelter access in Israel. Your thoughts on that, Ariel?
Yeah, propaganda. And also,
it was not propaganda. It was also black Jews that were denied.
Wednesday, your name is not Ariel. Your name's Wednesday.
And she thanks her stars daily for that.
Can I ask Ariel the chairman supporter a question then? So the videos that are coming out of Israel, from Israelis, from those bomb shelters, those are also propaganda?
100%.
Okay, just want to make sure the Israelis see it and propaganda. Israel has propaganda.
Just on top of that, this is not an insult to anybody in the room. It's an insult to the position. There's a saying here in Israel, and that saying is, Israelis are stubborn by birth, and Americans are stupid by choice. So they're selling it to the people who are going to buy it.
Listen, you fucking piece of shit. You are a fucking American.
Relax.
You are a fucking
Wednesday, you don't have to curse at him. It doesn't make sense. We actually know his background. This is a guy that left Detroit. He's an American. He went and became a border patrol and has openly admitted to beating children on the border.
When did I do that?
Don't take him serious.
When did I do that?
You didn't whip the boy. What do you call it again? What do you call that whip again?
Stick. It was like a stick.
Could you guys provide evidence that actually happened?
How do you guys have that?
You said it. Because we know Ariella. We know him.
When did I say that?
He's an idiot from Detroit. His family disowned him, and he went and converted and flew into Israel. Couldn't make it in America.
All right, stop. Ariel, if you're comfortable, and if not, that's fine. How much of that is true?
I'd have to say probably about like
all of it.
0.6%.
Yeah, exactly.
0.6. All right, let's speak on this, the 0.6. That's true.
I came to Israel with my own fucking application because I had the money and the resources to do so, and that was the choice that I made for my life.
Are you from
Detroit?
Are you from Detroit?
And apparently, yes, I am. And apparently that makes a lot of people. And apparently that makes a lot of people upset.
No,
for whatever reasons, I don't know.
We found his resume.
Oops. Sorry about that, Wednesday. It was my fault. Come back up.
No, I'll finish her sentence. She said that they found my resume online. I mean, it's public. It's in LinkedIn. And they found my American resume. And they tried to bring that up.
One at a time.
He works in the kitchen.
And they tried to, for some strange reason, there was some intel that was done on me, which was very entertaining. And they found my American resume that made reference to my culinary work that I've done in the States. And they're trying to equate that to me being. And they're trying to equate that to some level of servitude or living as a, or living at the mercy of white folks in a country where, people do as they please, just like they do in America. And again, I don't know why these people are obsessed with my life.
Wait.
All right.
We do as we please in America.
Wednesday, go ahead.
We do as we please in America. We do.
So he says that only 0.6% is true, and what are your thoughts on that?
All of it is true.
How do you know that?
Because he's been in Amir's room countless times. And this is as he is being quiet because she knows that he's a pathological liar too.
No, you know what's funny is, he said that only 0.6% was true, but yet when you asked him,
Wednesday, I'm back.
He said yes, that was true what I said. Did he flee into Israel? He called it, he did it on his own will. I call it flee. He did go to Israel, that means. He also admit to being in the border patrol and hitting Palestinian children. You ask him that. And he also, beat up an American Jew in Jerusalem. That was his first crime he committed there, because he was stalking the black rabbi.
All right. So beating children, as you're a border patrol beating children, what are your thoughts on that, Ariel?
I need the proof.
So you're not denying it?
I need the proof.
I'm sorry, just I don't know if we're gonna even get to that. I don't think we're gonna. Hold on. 1 second, as the right. Okay, go ahead.
For some reason, is it me or is it a little bit garbled, guys? Can you hear me clearly?
You're fine.
We can hear you.
Okay, so there again, I believe in proof too. Amir has almost 99.9% of the things that Wednesday and Resistance have spoken of on video. So it's easy enough to just put the videos in the back chat so that people can see what's being debated.
So let's do that.
Matter of fact, I probably have, I know I have some of them, but why are we centering this narcissist on this stage? Honestly,
You're right.
Excellent question. Excellent question.
That's true. We know we feel when we do this nonsense. You're 100% right.
Shut up, Ariel. Shut up.
He literally creams his pants every time he gets to be the
So
center
now
of
we're going to
attention.
sexualize the conversation.
Okay, so
put him. I was talking about shit.
So now
That's
we're
not
gonna
sexual
sexualize
to
the
me.
conversation.
I said green your pants. That was
Or are you
shit.
talking about me beneath my
What
clothes?
kind of
Alright, come on, we're gonna clean it up, let one mic, so go ahead.
But at the end of the day, most of this is on video. He brags about being a border patrol and a member of the IDF and stomping out Palestinian kids and attacking Edward when he comes through the border. I mean, nobody takes him seriously.
Thank you. I said
But
he
these
said this
are
stuff
things
out of
that-
his own mouth.
Yeah, those are things that he said. But at the end of the day, you know, he's like that crazy uncle that comes through on Thanksgiving. You give him his medicine, you let him drool in his corner, you hand him some green Jello and a spork so he doesn't hurt
Not the green Jello. Not the green Jello.
And you move on.
That's my favorite Jello, by the way.
Can I say
That's your
one?
attitude towards people.
Okay, it'll be
Mentally,
okay.
That's very disturbing.
All right, just one quick thing, because you guys are all over the place. Just one quick thing. I've been here digging into the idea that non-Jewish residents in Israel have been denied or restricted access to bomb shelters, and somebody said it was propaganda.
No, they are Israelis.
Please.
Posting that on YouTube. I'm just confirming what you
I know. Okay, cool. But it's just when I get into it, my brain doesn't work anymore. It just freezes up. So I've been digging into that for the last couple of minutes, and it turns out it's overwhelmingly true. Based on what I'm seeing, it says evidence. France 24 reports that many Arab Israeli neighborhoods lack proper shelters during missile alerts, forcing residents to stay in inadequate public spaces, while Jewish areas saw prompt shelter deployment. Reuters' account of a missile hit in Tamar emphasizes that Arab towns lacked the necessary infrastructure, and residents began sleeping in schools for safety. Al Jazeera reports that Palestinian citizens were frequently denied access to shelters and described the situation as ingrained racism. And there's, multiple. The Guardian detailed the tragedy in Tamar, where homes lack reinforced shelters. It says Arab Palestinian citizens have faced significant shelter disparities compared to Jewish communities. There's some communities in Arab towns with exactly 0 bomb shelters. Matter of fact, it looks like there are multiple Arab towns with 0 bomb shelters. On and on. So it's not only a lack of access, it is being denied access, and also there's no infrastructure in a lot of Arab towns to even have any bomb shelters whatsoever. Is an ongoing problem. So whoever said it was propaganda is just not true.
I'd like to respond.
Of course.
I'd like to respond, please.
Thank you, Roman.
Did it tell you in the articles that you read who was responsible for building infrastructures in those respective cities? Did it tell you that?
No, it speaks about the government infrastructure. So I'm assuming it's Israeli government responsible. But that's not true.
are you talking about the shelter being denied access to shelters, or who built it? You see how the goalposts always move?
In the process, you and I both know that if it's Israel, Uganda, or Saskatchewan, that there's a delegation of funds, and people are responsible for placing that money where it should go. And that some people decide, you know what, that's not an important part of our infrastructure, and we're not gonna waste our money on that, knowing good and darn well where they live and the political climate, and also, like I said before, the help that they will receive from non-participants, such as the majority of you all in this room, to speak on their behalf when you don't even know how it works. So if it's disparaging, then it must be true. And if it's good, then the good is being done for some nefarious purpose. That's the rhythm and the pattern that I see.
Okay, so just real quick. So turns out it's under the auspices of the government and the defense ministry. And the government and defense ministry, it says, defense ministry announced new public shelters, so they actually administer building shelters, but noted that Arab majority towns were largely overlooked, as they currently have very few shelters to begin with. Bro, this is fucking crazy, bro. It's getting crazier than more.
His lies.
It's crazy, bro. Yeah, but I have a question. Are you surprised
This is terrible, bro.
So you
You know,
mean
I
to
want
tell
to
me
know,
that there
Brownie,
was one
truly, are you
person?
surprised now that you read that? I just want to know. Now that, you just, as the room's been going, are you surprised?
I'm not surprised.
Right, not surprised.
I'm not surprised.
So effed up that we're not surprised, right?
Knows that the 20% of the Arabs in Israel are treated as second-class citizens. They even have laws
Not
they
surprising.
go against them. Everyone knows these things.
Yeah, you know, even
Except
though
Ariel,
it
'cause
is
he's an idiot.
great to confirm something, you know, it's absolutely amazing, but it's so effed up that people are not surprised by something as crazy as that. Wow.
So Rohan, just to make sure I understand you're clear,
The
you
denial
mean
is
to
so
tell me
crazy,
that
bro.
there was one person, you mean to tell me there was one person who was the Minister of Defense, whose sole responsibility it is to allocate the funds and make sure that the execution of bomb shelters happens in every single community for a population of over 10 million people, that there's no system of delegation that gives these funds to people like city councils or mayors, who then they say it is your job and your responsibility to make sure that the people in your jurisdiction are protected. So you're telling me it's only one person who's in charge of it, and they've neglected to do that simply because they're racist.
So hold on. I just want people to see the like what's happening. First, it was the idea that people in Arab towns are being denied access to shelter was propaganda. That turned out not to be true. There are multiple reports from multiple independent sources that demonstrate that people were being denied access to shelters. So that was the first step. Then the second step.
Particularly in Arab neighborhoods.
Yes, particularly, yes, correct. Second step was, were there even bomb shelters built in Arab neighborhoods? Like, do they even have like any shelters at all? And the answer to that is largely no. And then the question
Largely
was,
no, based upon what?
wait, hold on. And then the question was, who is responsible? I said the government and defense ministry. And then he said, well, just one person. It's the ministry. It's not just one person. It's
Okay,
the
so
defense
the ministry is not.
Bro, just
the
let
ministry
me
is not
finish.
just one person.
Just let me
My
finish.
apologies, my
I'm not.
apologies, my
Yes.
apologies.
I don't like apologies because people do it all the time. So don't apologize. So it's the ministry. It's not just one person. It's an entire organization that is tasked with distributing money and building shelters. It's like infrastructure, like building trains and shit. And turns out that when that money is allocated to build shelters, those shelters are built everywhere except Arab majority towns. So there's multiple levels of things that we have to go through just now to prove that people are being actively discriminated against at the individual level, meaning that they come up to shelters and they're denied access, and at the infrastructural level, meaning that the government isn't actually assigning money to build structures in their towns. This is problematic, bro. Like, how can you escape this?
Because it's very simple, Rohan. If I am the Minister of Defense and I allocate money to you to build the infrastructure that you need, because you said it's not just one person, to build what is needed in your community, and you decide to, I don't know, build yourself a new pool and expand your deck, that's on you. If you choose to do that with your money, that is your poor choice. And it is very easy, based upon the narrative that is presented, and based upon the narrative that you would like to believe as a onlooker and a non-participant, to believe in the myth of the disparaged Arab under the boot of the barbarous white Israeli.
Right.
So what about his first point about people being denied access, like walking into a shelter?
But just
No
one
place over that.
I posted a link to the top.
He sidestepped that.
Just real quick. The Times of Israel. The link is to the top. Shelters erected in areas hit hard by missiles, but Arab towns again overlooked. NIS 100 million for the entire country is nonsense, says Mayor of Tamra, etc. The Home Front Command and Defense Ministry have implemented a $100 million plan to revamp Israel's protective infrastructure following the war with Iran. Half the money is slated for the Home Front Command, etc., etc. The shelters have already started going up in areas surrounding Tel Aviv, blah, 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 blah. Then...
Rohan, you're skipping over a lot of information. You're doing that on purpose.
I'm not. I can read the whole thing.
Why don't you
wait, hold on. How do you know my intent? You can't figure out the intent of people that are being decimated, but the intent of people that are decimating people in the Gaza Strip, but you can now read my intent as I'm reading something. How is that possible?
Because those people are hypothetical, and you're choosing not to read the entire.
Hold on. Hold on, years of this, and you cannot figure intent, but you just magically know my intent. You don't know me. You've never
I'm answering your question. I'm answering your question.
Hold on, I did not ask the question.
No.
It was rhetorical, so let me keep going. I'm skipping over stuff because I know what is germane to the conversation and what is just. Matter of fact, let me give you an idea of what I skipped over.
So you're choosing to conceal information.
Bro, can you stay on mute? You have not yet allowed me to speak without interrupting one time. I want to ask, this is my formal request to stay on mute.
You got 30 seconds, my friend, to prove it.
Like Helly does. Go ahead, take your time, please.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Is that a green bean under your name, bro? Huh?
Yo, the privilege is crazy, bro. If I've seen this, this privilege is wild.
Let me go back.
Respect and check it. Respect and check it.
All right. I won't let my door again.
Move his sorry ass down to the audience just for 5 so you can get it through, Rowan.
Rohan, anybody that interrupts it, it's gonna drop. It's just taking too long. Go ahead, Rohan.
So just real quick, this is an example of what I skipped over. The shelters have already started going up in areas surrounding Tel Aviv, including Nibrak, Herzliya, Ramat Hasharon, Had Hasharon. However, Arab-Israeli locales, despite a glaring shortage of protected spaces, have been largely overlooked in the campaign. I was actually just skipping over, like, reading up a list of cities I don't know how to pronounce. But you try to find some nefarious.
How convenient.
Can you let me finish? Why do you have this discipline? Impulse control.
Nah, T, drop him. For real.
He's gone.
He goes. So crazy. So according to the Israel Democracy
You
Institute,
can call Black Rabbi the next
It would look so bad if I dropped you.
up too.
so it says, it's not even that long, it'll be done by now. A 2018 report by the state comptroller, this is not Rohan reading this, making this up, found that 46% of Arab citizens lived in buildings without protected spaces, compared to 26% of the general population. The report also found an almost total lack of public shelters in most Arab locales. So if you live in an Arab locale, including large cities like Rahat, Al-Fam, etc., there is a chance that there is 0 public shelters. That's what the report found, not me. I'll stop there so I don't bore the rest of the room, but the link is to the top.
All right, thank you, Rohan.
But Rohan, what else has to be taken into consideration, I myself have lived in Israel, is the disparity of resources in each of those communities. In the event that many of your resources have to go to infrastructure, food, shelter, etc., how do you have time, money, to build bomb shelters? In the event that bomb shelters are built with public funds, why, which he never answered, wouldn't Christians, Muslims, or anyone else have access to those shelters? If it's all about saving life, if it's all about Israel being the greatest democracy in the Middle East, why is it that some lives are more worthy than others? That's the question he refused to answer.
His argument was very similar to the argument people make when it comes to poor Black and Brown communities
I was
in this
just
country.
about to say, you're absolutely
right. Like with schools, right? Like, well, why aren't these poor schools? Why don't they have their own laptops, right? When you create a system that oppresses one particular group of people so that they do not have the money, they do not have the access, then yes, you do have to prioritize things. And if you are in an Arab locale and you're just trying to get basic services, you will not have the funding to also build bomb shelters. I actually didn't come up to talk about that. I just wanted to point out there's this, because that guy kept going on and on and on about how the racism in Israel is propaganda. I mean, is it propaganda when Israel admits that they sterilized Ethiopian Jews? Is it propaganda when Israel admitted that they took organs from Palestinian hostages? And I use the word hostages deliberately because they frequently kidnap and hold children and adults in prison for decades without trial. And when those people die, they admitted to taking their organs without consent of the person or before they died or the family, right? And of course you can make the argument that is all historical. So is Dr. Perlman a Jewish American trauma surgeon who has worked in Gaza during this genocide and has pictures that he has taken of children who have sniper bullets to the head and the chest. And he has reported that this is a frequent occurrence, and he is not the only physician who is reporting these things. Is that also propaganda?
It would have to be, because we're not allowed to criticize the actions of the IDF or the Israeli government. And the moment we do so, dun 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 dun, we become anti-Semitic.
But this is the thing about Zionism, right? Zionism is so predicated on the idea of stealing, whether that's land, natural resources, burning olive trees. They stole the word Semitic. They literally tried to co-opt the word Semitic when Arabs are Semitic.
You know what I'm actually doing these days? I'm not even focusing too much on what these Zionists are doing. I've reversed it. This Zionism is about white Jewish perfection. It's about white Jewish freedom from culpability. It's about literally white supremacy. If you are white, if you are Israeli, if you live in Israel, you can commit no sin. You are guilty of no wrong. And any person who says different will be held accountable. That's the scariest part of all of this. Imagine telling people that their lives, I don't know if anybody here else speaks Hebrew, but if you look at the link that I posted, he's literally telling Palestinians, no, you're not allowed to come down here. No, not because of any safety hazard. He's telling Christians, no, I'm sorry, this is not for you, this is for Jews only. And you know what I heard and saw in that moment? Imagine if that had been Anne Frank. Imagine if that had been German Jews hiding from the Nazis, not missiles, but just hiding from the Nazis. Non-Jews, Muslims, Arabs, people from all around the world hid you in bunkers, hid you behind panels of their walls, risked their lives to make sure you could hide from the Nazis, from the Germans, and live. For you to tell someone else, no, I'm sorry. There's a saying in Pirkei Avot that the one who says, what's yours is mine, and what's mine is the epitome of unrighteousness. That is how we know a complete wicked person. The person who says, what's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine.
Iran, breaking news, Iran just hit Qatar, so you can go Google it yourself.
Oh, good Lord. Thank you, Point.
Sorry. Sorry, go ahead.
But I want you to think about that. How did Jews divide Nazi Germany?
Listen, guys, sorry, another bit of breaking news. Are y'all watching what's in the chat? First of all, Amir, that better not be, what's his name again? Gosh, what is his name? Ariel. That better not be Ariel in that dang thumbnail in that first one. Play what you're watching. You better stop playing.
I'm the one that's holding the camera. I'm not the unkempt gentleman who's being recorded.
You're not the unkept gentleman. All right, so you're the.
Let me hear it.
All right, hold on one second. Let me see if I can try to.
Can we at least change the room title? If you're gonna make this about me, I'd appreciate it.
Absolutely not. Give me 1 second. Trust me, it'll be a short little thing in this, and they love it. But we're gonna make sure that we focus on the title, which is gonna be "You in Denial." Give me 1 go. Let me try to get back over here.
And you in blind participation.
Between Israel and Iran is just a distraction.
Hold on,
Any American living in the... So let's go. I'm going to the police. No, we're not going to the police station. It's right around the corner. No, it's not, Artie.
He's the one, so just as an FYI for you guys to hear this, he's the one saying, so I'm guessing you're the, or you're saying you're the one behind the camera, you're the one who's saying the police station is around the corner.
And the gentlemen are on your platform right now.
Say that again?
Both gentlemen are on your platform right now.
Both of them? Who are both?
Black is the other guy. He's on the far right.
Yeah. He's the unkept one in the video.
Yes, he's the unkept
Ariel called the unkept one. Okay, got it. And Ariel
called the unkept one. But Ariel looks like a bum bitch in this too, so end of the day.
They both look. All right, come on.
Are they both in the camera? Okay, let me play it. All right, here we go. Let's go. Let's go back.
Y'all loving this.
That's Flash.
Police station is right around the corner. Already contacted them. We're telling you, I'm filing a report against you for harassment, for intimidation, and for threatening my life. You gonna also file about those girls you tried to touch? Your mom and sister will testify. Okay, where are they gonna testify from? Where are they gonna testify from? Where are they gonna testify from? Bro, this is public, bro. This is public domain. This is public domain, bro. How public it is? This is public domain. How public it is?
Oh my.
Bro, what are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your life?
What is he showing? I can't even see. I don't even know what it says.
Number one, a black person not connected to the Torah is a nigga. And
So hold on, let me just stop and just let y'all know that Black tried to attack Ariel, because Ariel was bothering him, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You can hear from the video, that was Ariel, and he definitely got snuffed. His phone dropped out of his hand.
I mean, you could ask me.
He got mushed at least, okay? He dropped his phone. Oh, there's another part to it. Huh?
Play the last video.
Oh, no, there's more, and then I'll play the next part of the next video, the other video that Amir has.
Definitely.
No problem. Let me just play the Black 31 seconds of this. Hold on 1 second. Let's go.
individual.
This is Black.
The problems in our community, the random murders, killing, giving drugs to our neighbors, all this type of stuff. This is a byproduct of no Torah, right? And Ariel going around harassing other Jews, right? Women, people, the whole thing, the whole thing. He's just going around harassing. And you know why? And right now I'm talking to the Jewish community. This is.
Oh wait, here he goes. Oh, that's you? Okay, sorry, listen. While I get this other video going, I'm just gonna let you know, exfoliate, and don't ever put the camera that close if you did not exfoliate, okay? You want me to do that one, Ezra? Alright, let's go to the next one. Please, what is this? What is this? Are you smoking weed? Jail?
Remember what I said about a friend uncle?
This is not you.
That is definitely him.
What is, or what are you doing?
I'm here. Can I
That's plastic. That's a plastic gun. You guys, I cannot watch this. 30 more seconds.
Make this shit up.
This is not real. There's no way. There's no way. Stop it.
That's it.
You
That's
better stop it.
Panda, can I respond, please?
This is ghetto.
This is the most ghetto thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
What you just watched was a parody video.
I mean, it's clear it's a parody, but I'm still very disappointed. I mean, obviously,
That's the parody. You're not supposed to be proud. That's the point. You're supposed to be disappointed.
I was not proud. I didn't say proud.
Okay.
What made you think that? I'm just disgusted.
It was an attempt to try to redirect the conversation.
And I could have watched it on silent and felt the same. Now there is. Oh my gosh, how many of these are there?
basically.
Is this parody too?
Wow. Just now. Recently. Wow. However, as far as I'm concerned, nobody makes Aliyah. Nobody even stops here on a layover unless you have divine permission. So the minute my feet touch soil, I was like, I'm home, baby.
Okay.
Wait, hold up. Can you bring Amir up? Amir, where's that video with the ice cream over the head and all the rest of that?
Why are you so active on live? I just don't understand. Hold on, let me go back to Amir.
Because you have people like Amir and Ezzy that like to share these videos. People do the work.
Actually, it's because he's a narcissist who gets no other attention in his life other than Clubhouse.
All right.
Ma'am, I've never met you a day in my life.
Again, Amir, can you put that video up for us?
Yeah, Amir, please do.
Pretty sad.
Ezzy, I appreciate your concern. God bless you.
Pretty sad.
What's sad?
Hold on.
Which video are you talking about?
You remember the one where he was talking about killing Palestinian babies? Where he was talking about if Edward came through Border Patrol, what he would do when he was trying to flex like he was part of the IDF when he wasn't?
Oh my God.
Never said I was in the idea.
Yeah, the
Hold on, give me a moment. I think he posted them at the top as a. Just give me a moment. Ooh, geez, there's a lot.
And it's only 3 videos that I put.
I mean, between you there's a lot going on.
So did you hit the Palestinian kid? Oh, he's on the phone.
How
Did you see the video, T?
Yeah, I saw that. It's crazy. Is he in Israel now?
That's what he claims.
Well, we don't know because he claims that he was able to get a charter flight.
I do have something here. I have a couple things. This is from Amir. Thank you, Amir, for the information. Everybody, give me 1 second. I think I need to switch the modes real quick. My audio. All right, I'm on standard. All right, perfect. All right, so you guys.
And we're back. This is independent. Let's keep this.
All guys that should die. Yeah. But you also got a lie on it. You know what?
Listen.
You said that all guys should die. Yeah. But you also got a lie on it. Do you know why? Do you know why I said that?
Wait, including the children? Kill the children?
Yeah, including the children.
Hold on. I want to hear it out of his mouth. I just got back. Including the children?
Yes, including the children. Do you know why? There's no innocent child. There's no innocent child. Yeah. There is no innocent child because all the children are being raised to be murderers of you on this stage and also myself. And also all of these women are feeding and clothing and reproducing with these hateful bastards. Yeah, we heard you.
Oh my.
Oh my goodness.
That's right. That's right. I said it. If you've ever seen a whipped slave like this, here you go. Finally seen one.
You said kill the
That's right.
children.
I said it.
Wow.
Anybody take issue with it? If you do, what can you do about it?
I guess I can't do anything. That's disgusting.
We can't because you're hiding in Israel like a coward. Come back to America. We'll tell you what we can do.
Are an observer. I think you guys just need to stay in the place.
Stay in your place, right? Wow.
This dude is sick.
Nah, you guys just want me to be who you want me to be. Sorry, it's not
But
gonna happen.
now that he's revealed himself to be a liar,
We have one more.
why people have the issues that they do. Imagine denying it less than 10 minutes ago. I never said that it's only 2% true.
I have one more. 37 seconds, guys. 37 seconds. Right here.
As to killing 13 or 14 Palestinians.
Excuse me, gladly killing 13. And it's 13. It's not 13 or 14. It's 13. Old man, take your medicine. It's 13.
13 Palestinians, and how many kids were there? How many kids did you beat up while you're border patrolling the border?
Just one.
Okay, just one. Okay. And you said last time you beat him up with the switch, right? You hit him on his legs or whatever with the switch.
I understand that we have to keep revisiting this because of your condition, but the answer is yes. I hit him on his legs with the switch.
Okay.
Didn't you just say that you did not do that? And that he asked you how much of that story was true? You said 0.6%. Was that the 0.6?
My energy bill dropped from $150.
Was that the 0.6?
He gave his version of
He
the story.
asked you what percentage of it was true. Was the 0.6% of it being true? Was that you did beat up a kid?
Madam,
that was not within his 0.6.
And the tape speaks for itself.
I told you I don't lie, people. I told you an accurate description of this idiot.
Yeah, you did.
So
Yes,
at the end of the day, what can we do
deny
about it?
before. You tried to deny before. That's crazy.
you guys do about
You're a sick bitch.
What can be done?
So high pitched. You're
Damn,
I
sick
can tell.
ass bitch.
I can tell.
Why are you talking about me?
I can tell why you had to get off by going ahead and beating up and killing Palestinians. You got a little fucking dick. You could just.
So there's nothing. So you're saying, okay, wait a minute. So there's nothing. So there's nothing that can, what can you do about it? Like, it's nothing. But for research purposes only, since we're here. Goodness gracious. So you're from Detroit, right? And then when did you move to Israel?
You didn't hear it in the tape?
Either I did or I forgot.
Okay. All the information there, so I can't help you. Anything else? You got your, there's anything else you need to know? No.
I can't hear you. I mean, if you have a little attitude, then we'll just skip right over you.
Just a little, so you guys could kind of, I guess, even though it's not understandable.
Since you don't want to participate, he's very salty right now. He doesn't want to participate.
Even though his actions and his words are comprehensible and how he thinks, but I just want a lot of you to know that he openly admitted, I don't know if they have the recording still, his family disowned him behind him leaving to Israel. He even said he didn't have a relationship with his father disowned him. This is where all that trauma is coming from. So he, uses all of that hatred towards other people. That's just how he is. He's just a sick individual that way.
Yikes.
What a fucked up mess.
Mm-hmm. Don't blame Palestinians. Blame your daddy. It's okay.
Wow.
Who are you?
Kill all the children. That's crazy.
Yeah. Just like if daddy tried to kill you. This is terrible.
Goodness gracious. But yeah, man. Clubhouse, boy.
Sheesh. Well, that's interesting. My goodness. Wow.
I put another.
Oh my goodness! Now there's
tiny
more.
documentary in there. It's 6 minutes long. You can see that he lives in the ghettos part of Israel. He gets his news from the sticky notes on the wall, and he says his mom and sister don't talk to him, but he changed his religion from, I think he was a Christian, and then he converted to Islam, and then from Islam to Judaism. He says in that small documentary.
So the ghetto is part of Israel?
And this is to prove that our black men really and truly need mental health counseling. It's not a joke.
That's real. This is crazy shit right here.
Hold on, I'm about to play that next video. Let's see. Oh, this is long. Hold on, this one's a long one. Let's just try to skip to. Eek! Yikes! Oh my gosh, I need you to bathe. Oh god! Every time I do, I'm flipping through this, and I see this disgusting. What is this? Oh god, he is so primitive. My goodness. Sir, bathe, please. Exfoliate.
The black rabbi is the one who's unkempt, remember?
Oh God, he's unkempt. He's worse than him. Actually, I don't know who's worse.
No, they actually almost like twins. They really are.
Oh, I had a wonderful childhood. My father.
He had a wonderful childhood. What did he say? Ew, you're walking around like you're homeless.
My name is Ariel. Hey, oh, I had a wonderful childhood. My father, he was a police officer for 17 years, then a school board trustee, then he became the mayor.
Hold on, stop, guys. Do y'all hear the background music? How cute is that? Sorry. It's like little sad violin shit. Oh my God, how cute is the music? All right, here we go.
So, I asked my father, why are we Christian? He said, we're Christian because the man that owned your grandfather's father.
You cannot, oh my God, his nostrils are
you have to make a decision within yourself. Is this something I'm going to pass on to my family? I decided no. But then I started reading the Quran in depth and the Hadith. You're like, okay, where do I go now? And then, you know, Shia, Sunni, whose side do you need to be on? After this is over with, this thought process, it's like, okay, well, what is left? The bare bones, like when you boil everything down, what's left in the bottom of the pot is Judaism. I said, okay, this is the way that I need to go. Went through a conversion process. I mean, first thing, you gotta come to a realization. That realization is
God, it's boring.
Okay, warrior scholars, the mental defense, the spiritual defense, the physical stuff. By nature, this is my claim. I mean, they're even look, the way that we
boring.
Concentration, which is Hebrew. Pray for clarity.
I cannot watch this homeless shit. I really can't. He just looks like such a bum. It's so disgusting. It really is. It's so trash. He's so embarrassing to Black Americans. My goodness. He's just so embarrassing walking around Israel looking like that. Like, you could at least, like, wash your clothes. My goodness. This is horrible.
Or put him on some of that olive oil. Israel is.
He's so disgusting. Ugh.
But bigger than that, I mean, he seems like a lost soul who was looking to find himself somewhere else. I'm not mad.
I don't understand what made him so lost. His father was great. He was a police officer. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, you know, shout out to great parents. I mean, you know, what made him so lost? Poor thing. Oh well. It is what it is.
Here's no more.
Oh God. Doesn't want to speak to his.
I think we should ask him more. How does it make you feel Netanyahu is giving weapons to ISIS?
Zero evidence of that. We discussed this last night.
What to ISIS?
So
weapons to ISIS.
What Netanyahu did first? Netanyahu first funded Hamas, right? $15 billion were coming in.
I dispute that. You are incorrect.
According to Ehud Barak, as the former Israeli Prime Minister, and the Times of Israel said they blew up in their face, this whole funding Hamas. Now, recently, about 2 weeks ago, according to Times of Israel, Netanyahu gave weapons to ISIS that steals aid from the Palestinians inside Gaza and sells it for triple the price.
So you think ISIS is in Gaza right now?
I'll put the link in the chat. He was actually locked up. Hamas kept him locked up until he blew up the building that he was locked up in.
Yes.
Your people did that.
Hamas did steal the aid.
And then they put him, the idea, right? They put him on their payroll, and this is what they did. They gave him weapons, and recently a Knesset member came out, and he's told everybody, right? It was posted all over the news and whatnot. Let me put the link in the chat. It's from Times of Israel.
I've heard all of your nonsense in your rooms. It doesn't make it less nonsensical when you change rooms, Amir. It's very silly. You have no connection to this matter. You're an American from India with no one. You couldn't find this area on a map. So it's just your ignorance is embarrassing, which is why Palestinians boycott your room.
Again, more ad hominem, more falsehood.
No, I'm talking about what he says, not who he is. I already said, yes, I did enough.
At the bottom it says.
Yes, I did deny it. That's the first thing I did was deny it, and then I mentioned that he's got no
At
basis.
the bottom of it, it says Islamic State, that's ISIS, giving weapons to ISIS. And it's the testimony is coming from a Knesset member. Like we have Congress in America, they got Knesset inside Israel. That's the
I just want to point out.
How would the Knesset know this?
I just want to point out that this is a standard argument that El Normo makes, as if whether or not you can find a country on a map means you're not educated on what that country is doing.
That is correct. That is correct. If you can't take the time to look at a
You're still
map,
an idiot.
then you can't. I beg your pardon?
You don't need to beg my anything. You're an idiot.
Oh, well, maybe you're the idiot. If you can't find it on a map, who's the schmuck?
Hey, fuckwit.
Yes.
I know more.
Yes, dipshit.
You genuinely believe that I, who is infinitely smarter than you, cannot find something on a map?
It's I who am, you half-wit, not I who is.
Right.
Give it up. You're semi-literate. That's not an anomaly.
Sir,
Ben, you put that link in the back chat. Let the facts speak for itself.
Yeah, I put the link in the
synthetic cocaine. He got caught in
right. Talk about lying.
I don't know why Zionist. This is the. I don't really care
Which
about.
form of Muslim lying are you doing today?
I don't really care about. I don't really care about. I don't know if this is Amir the anti-vaxxer, in which case he is an idiot. But El Normo is a Zionist piece of shit.
Well, I am a Zionist, but I'm not a piece of shit. I think everybody is a Zionist.
Zionist equals piece of shit. So Zionist.
I don't understand. No.
Did you just say everyone
That's not
is a
surprising.
Zionist?
That's
Did you
not at all
just say that?
surprising. Yes, I did say that.
Zionists are just people who have a right to a homeland.
We are now witnessing the death knell of an evil ideology, and
I don't think so. We just saw victory on 7 fronts. It's kind of the opposite of the death.
Right.
I think Israel has emerged.
All of the people crying because you fucked around and found out what you want.
Nobody is crying.
Victory. The news out of Tehran, and even they're starting to report it in which one? The Wall Street Journal reported through the Tehran spoken. They did not harm their nuclear program. They did not harm it.
That's not what the IAEA says.
They haven't even reported on it. They haven't even went to the site.
Actually, you just didn't look because you're not that bright. Yeah, they did indeed report on it.
Reporting it. The people even went to the bomb site. They were there with no protective gear. There's no radiation, nothing. They moved all of their equipment, but Iran won.
Not with the IAEA.
Yeah, I don't think it's just disgusting. Yeah. What a mess of a room.
A hot mess.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Wow.
Creepy drunk New York Jew today. That's disgusting.
These Zionists just are intense. They just cannot admit to anything. Like, it's fascinating. They can't do it. It's crazy.
Okay, so what are the numbers?
Okay, so we had Joe is blind. Ariel had to be dropped. He's just a hot mess. I mean, he looks like that's what he lost.
Ariel is a little twisted roach. Oh God, somebody needs to put.
Honestly, I'd rather a roach next to me than Ariel.
No, they're weasels.
And everybody knows I hate bugs.
Oh, no, screw it. No, Ariel weasels.
He literally looks like a silverback. I'm sorry.
Just ghetto. So Ariel,
like a trash gorilla.
I didn't get to see. Listen.
She said a silverback. You know what? I can.
We have Daniel here. Daniel is a Zionist.
Ooh, hey Daniel.
Who is
With
Daniel?
the blue background, with the blue picture.
I don't know. He has to raise his hands.
I'll invite you up, Daniel.
You guys ain't gonna want to talk to him. He thinks he's more feminine than you guys.
Wait, so Daniel? Somebody said Daniel is the most crazy one. There's no way.
There's no way. If you have normal, there's
no. He's the most feminine one. He's not the most crazy.
He keeps on saying, maybe he would actually be able to have a conversation.
If you're human beings of your morality, you guys are living in delusion. Israel's protecting you from the bad Muslims.
Okay. Let's see. Daniel, come on up. I think maybe
if you're saying he's the most feminine, like, I mean, maybe he can actually have a conversation.
Or like your older children. Oh, he's bitchy. Oh, goodness.
Oh.
I was giving him a
He
shot.
likes to call women C-U-N-T. He likes to call women C-U-N-T, which is very misogynist. I don't know.
I kind of like the word. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's cute. I love it when guys say it.
I'm like, oh,
It's
cute.
not your time.
It's a weird word.
Oh my God, for my
Alright,
favorite
so
word.
look,
You guys discover Ariel? I'm sorry, I have to go out. Did you guys discover Ariel and how warped in his mind is delusional and mental health issues?
Yeah, I'm not even. I like the more I think about it, like I kind of just feel bad for him at this point because like he needs some help. Poor thing. Yeah, it's just I feel bad. I'm not letting you up here unless Daniel comes up here. I want Daniel to come up because he's big.
I just want to say real quick that I've encountered a lot on this app.
Thank you.
Quite a bit over the last 4 years. I have never encountered this level of depravity. We have a person on stage celebrating the violence against children. I don't think I've seen that. I've been here for a long time. I've been doing multiple.
Who did that?
Who did that?
Ariella.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're disgusting human being.
Let him finish one.
Yeah, no, I'll learn there. But I really am over here like this is just. I'm at a loss for words, legitimate loss for words. Probably for the first time in this app.
And Rohan, that's a black man from Detroit. Imagine what people from other places are saying.
Jesus.
It's disgusting.
Oh, thank you, Easy, for saying that. That's when I lost my train of thought. That's what I want to say. This is a black American saying this. Imagine what those European Jews be saying and how they act and think. I know because I live around some of them here in Manhattan, in New York. They are they're scum, man. They are evil people.
Have you heard of any of them? I'm sorry, you're making it a race thing. I'm just curious now. Have you heard any of them say, you kill all the children? They kill all the children.
Yeah, I don't hear none of them. I live here in New York too, and I'm telling you right now that I've had such I've honestly never encountered, let me be very clear, a Jewish person. Now a Zionist, I don't know, but as far as what I know, as far as a Jewish person, I've always had pretty pleasant interactions. I've never had an issue at all.
It's called progressive until...
Yeah, I've never had an issue. Yeah, so in regard to in regard to Jewish people, I've never had an issue. Zionists, I never really met. I couldn't tell you if one was a Zionist or not, but I mean, they've been, as far as them being.
I've never heard anybody.
Well, majority of them are Zionists, especially the ones here in New York City. And I've encountered many of those scum, because I go to a lot of the rallies. And a matter of fact, 2 months ago was now, did any of you guys not see when Ben Kavir came to New York and all of the people were protesting? Those Jews in Brooklyn Zionists attacked women. It went viral all over the place. They were beating women, hitting them with cones, kicking them, while NYPD facilitated it. This is what they do.
Is there video where there was a woman?
There's a bunch of videos of it, of course.
Like, a mob of guys after her, but again,
hundreds.
I couldn't tell you who was at those things. I ain't never been in one of those. Listen, I just know that.
Well, I have. I went viral. Everyone knows me on this app. I'm one of the people who was at the I was one of the people at the rally group. I'm knocking one of the teeth out of one of their Israeli mouthpieces. My name is Esau. All of them know me. I knocked his teeth right out his mouth for being a terrorist.
There's a video of you knocking somebody's teeth. Show me. Can I get the video?
Of course there is. At Columbia University.
Oh my gosh. Let me look for it.
I go to all the rallies. Everyone knows me.
He was doing God's work.
Was it Norfolk?
Of course I was. He's an Israeli mouthpiece. He was here terrorizing a lot of the college students on campus. He was harassing 2 young Jewish women, Jewish protesters, and I intervened and I gave him what he was looking for.
Okay. How does that make you feel?
It made me feel great. You seen the video, Ariella? I did what I would do to you.
Ariella is crazy.
I would like to say that Zionists lost yesterday. The new mayor will be Zohan, thank you very much.
Muslim mayor of New York City, baby.
Yeah, primary. I know, but you gonna win it all. We coming out in masses.
What if you
After
doesn't?
that video, I really do want to just watch it. It seems so fun.
We coming out in
I'm gonna
masses.
put it in the chat right now. Hold on.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Oh, so when it's violence against Jews, it's fun, right? I got it.
No,
Against
this is a Zionist
Zionists?
They're
thing.
not Jews. Those terrorists. Those are terrorists.
I have literally said that I've never met a at least Jewish person, okay, that has been unpleasant. That's ever been unpleasant to me ever.
So when they are unpleasant, i.e. they're
No, when
stands.
they are listen, Zionists.
Can I finish my question? No, I
not
heard you, man.
all
Can I finish my question?
Zionists are Jews.
Relax, let her finish.
Calm down, Ariella.
I'm very calm, and my name is Ariel.
Ariella,
Please, don't interrupt. Just let her finish.
That's all I was saying. All I was saying is that there's I don't appreciate the violence against Jewish people at all.
Okay.
I just got tagged.
Everybody go to the link in the chat real quick.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Besides, there's been
I
plenty
saw
of
this. I
Jewish-
saw this. This is what I saw.
There's been plenty of Jewish people, like what's her name? She works for Code Pink. This poor woman, she's been fighting for the Palestinian cause since the 1970s, and they just be roughing her up in Congress like Capitol Police. What's her name? Medea Benjamin. She's and she's a Jewish woman, and she says, "How dare you commit a genocide on the Palestinians using Judaism?" Zionism literally hijacked Judaism to do atrocities. That's what's happening.
Well, God forbid if violence escalates in the United States, how many of you all are willing to take up arms to defend either side?
Man, listen, shut up. You over there with the Israelis oppressing people. Don't you worry what's happening over here.
It ain't gonna be no kids. It ain't gonna be no kids
Will this much?
Needing children.
Will this
Like
much?
we living in the 1950s or 60s.
Hold on for a second. Wait. Why are you on stage?
Oh, you're breaking up, T. You're breaking up.
You didn't want to answer questions?
I answer questions and then I let the tape speak for themselves.
Answer this question first.
Saying why is he on stage asking people questions? You want to answer questions? You want an attitude?
Because the tapes can speak for themselves.
No, I ask you a simple question. You want an attitude?
What was your
You want to
question?
do it. I respect it. You're the goof. I don't know anymore. I don't give a fuck. I think I heard enough of his bullshit.
I want to know. I just want to know.
Don't piss me off by asking some kind of moral question on the stage. You say you want to kill all the children. Are you kidding me? Don't try to be moral. Don't piss me the fuck off.
Wednesday, wait.
Why does that hurt your feelings, my dear?
It doesn't hurt my feelings. Don't piss me off. Alright, and don't
You
insult my intelligence. I've already given you grace by letting you sit up here and be silent. Alright, you can sit up here and enjoy and listen to it. But what do you think I need from you? Kill all the children.
Well, you don't need anything from me.
I have a question, Ariella.
I'm not trying to hear too much from this little mentally diseased roach. I don't give a fuck about that.
Ariella,
Ariella,
I have a
you got your
question.
videos. Don't take too long on this thing. It's gross.
I won't. All right, Ariella, question. Why when T asked you before if you said this and you just denied it, like what the hell? Why did you do that?
Because the way that you presented the story was untrue, and now you have to take to speak.
You presented
Hold on, madam. May I answer your question? The way that he presented his story was untrue, and now you have the tapes to speak for themselves.
So, what part was untrue?
I'm not the person that spun the lie. You have to ask the person who made that.
No, you said it was untrue. So you're the one making the claim that it was.
He said everything that was said was untrue, aside from him being from Detroit and going to Israel.
What was untrue is that I fled.
That's what he said was true. That was the 0.06%. Everything else, including hitting children, was untrue. That's what he claimed. He literally lied.
Go ahead,
Talk when I'm
Ariel.
talking.
Why did you lie? Why weren't you proud of it?
Go ahead, Ariel. Are you referring to me, Ariel, or
Don't
Ariel?
talk. Hey, listen. That's your answer to your question? What is your next one?
I just want to know why didn't he stand on his business? That's what he was.
Why do you think?
Oh, let him answer.
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you now.
What did you just say?
I said I can hear you now.
So why didn't you stand on business when it came to you beating up a child?
Because the way that it was presented.
You know I love doing that. You
Sorry.
stupid bitch. You pussy motherfucker. Use my language. You such a
The funny thing is, I presented it much more lighter than how he was bragging about.
You can't say something like you want to kill all the children over there and worry about how something's presented. Oh, you presented it in a way that, nigga, you said you wanted to kill all the children over there. What kind of presentation, what kind of bow are you looking for that baggage? Stupid.
Why is he blaming you?
Talking about some, how does it make you feel? Don't worry about my feelings. You're the one that wants to kill all
It's always somebody else's fault.
Fucking, gosh, I've never seen a bigger loser than this.
By the words of his own mouth.
That's Rohan. I was telling you earlier, right, and other people in the room. I was like, people, it's just the most low confidence, fucked up in the brain, fucked up inside. Low self-esteem people that make these profound stuff. Why do people talk when I'm talking? It's crazy. They make these profound statements, and then when you go to examine them, what did you say? Let me understand it. They get offended and embarrassed. They don't want to stand on it. But just shut your bitch ass up. Just close your mouth. Don't say it then. You took the time to say it. When we don't take the time to understand it, you're embarrassed. And you switch up, and you backpedal, and you pussy pop, and you look so fucking stupid. And it's all of them. This one is the worst one. It's disgusting. This room right here was Zionist started denial. Anytime we can get the room organized, they were cornered into making some sense, and I really don't think that's the worst corner to be in. I mean, gosh, they ran. Okay, they ran, flipped out. You couldn't get a hold of them. This room did not go the way that it didn't reach my bar. I like things to be organized. It was all over the motherfucking place. I expected a level of that, of course, but I could barely moderate the motherfucking good. And I understand that this issue is something that is terrible. It's a terrible thing that's happened. It's a terrible thing to talk about. But there's key things that I wanted displayed. Okay, and that at least that was accomplished. What happened was the question that was presented was, hey, is there genocide in Gaza? Okay, so Pikachu says, well, if you look up the ICJ's law on genocide, it has to fulfill certain requirements, criteria. And he started with intent. Can you prove intent? Right? And we spent a lot of time, trying to prove, what was obvious by some and, not obvious at all by others, or nobody knew it was Berkey, blah, blah, blah. Okay, no problem. So I'm listening, right? Understanding. We went all over the place. It was a hot, fucked up mess. It is what it is. Sure, it was some shit that wasn't respectable. I cannot respect people like that. But here I am, I'm listening. I presented a scenario to them to see if they would maintain that school of thought that they detailed throughout for hours, where it was, I basically asked, in 1942, if you saw Jewish people being herded into cattle cars, gassed and buried in mass graves, would you say that was, would you try to convince them, as you're doing right now, right? Would you try to convince them and everyone around that is not genocide? I was accused of weaponizing your trauma, and all these words, it's not going to work for me. I'm sorry. You have to make sense around here. I'm not going to buy it. I don't know if the emotional thing that you guys be trying to do, it's not going to work, please. You're got some of the place slow. So after we got out of that tactic, it didn't work. I noticed that didn't get an answer. Aside from Panda, who did answer the question, is that genocide? Panda, would you consider it genocide in 1942? Mind you, there's no proof of intent, and this is what they required. Okay? Panda said, of course I would. Yes, absolutely. I said, now use their thoughts. Now, everything you learned on how you go about the situation, all right, or analyze the situation and determine whether or not genocide is occurring, and use
Pikachu and everybody else's thoughts. Would it be? She said, no. So this is really not a hard thing to navigate. When you change the scenario or the people within the scenario, right? We couldn't get it wasn't easy, you know. They could say it easily here, you know. No, it's not genocide. You know, I don't see a ruling on it. Okay, but back in 1942, all right, it was ongoing, much like the Gaza conflict is ongoing. This wasn't deemed a genocide or a crime against humanity until years later, after it was done. So if they followed their own logic, they'd be sitting up the whole time saying, no, it's not genocide. Where's the proof? Does it meet the criteria? It's obvious it can be.
Yeah, can I ask you a question?
Goodness, what a low integrity, fucked up group of people. Sure.
Did you read out the statements coming from the officials?
Your background is messed up.
Okay, can you hear me now? Is it better?
It's better.
Okay, I said, did you guys read out the statements of the Ben Gavir and Yoav Galant and whatnot, what they've said? They've said genocidal shit.
I don't know. I gotta ask Panda. I wasn't listening for a while.
Yeah, we read some of them, like calling people animals and calling for people to be decimated into a tent city and calling for blocking food and water but yeah, there's like 6 or 7 different statements that were made that were included in the ICJ court case.
Nice. So they're making it more easier, like day by day. They've made it so easy to prove intent.
One thing about people like this is like they don't realize how clear, you know, they are. Like I don't know who you think you're fooling. I mean, even by producing that argument, how about a 10? I can't say that it's genocide. Like it's like you think you're like, I don't know, slick at all.
I mean, when you talk to Jewish people internally, they never deny it. They never deny.
You mean Zionists who support this?
No, they don't feel that they are not right. They feel like they're superior to others. They say it openly. I remember my Bible teacher who was a young student, 25 years old, and we come in the discussion because I thought she's an open-minded, normal girl, and then I asked her what she thinks about the conflict 12 years ago. And I said, do you agree that 2 children's lives are more worse than 1? And then she looked at me and said, what do you mean? What do you want to tell me? I said, if you kill 2, it's one more than another. But she said, a Jewish child is worth 10 or 20 children, not only 1. So I don't feel at all sorry for any Palestinian child. And this was deep out of her heart. This is a brainwash they get from small childhood. They really feel superior. They feel that their lives is worth more. And this is why they hang it. And there's a TikToker who openly make videos with Israelis, youth on universities and they say openly, he asks them, do you feel sorry for the children who die? They say, what for sorry? No, they should all die and burn in hell. We don't care. They are not children. They are not worth nothing. Our Israeli children are much more worse than them. This is a mindset they don't even deny it. This is openly, and somebody tries to hide it, and there is no difference, absolutely no difference between Adolf Hitler warning the Jews in 1932 saying, you have time to go out of the country. If you don't like my politics, please leave. What do the Jews do with the Gazans? They say, you can leave if you want. But they don't even have, so it's worse what the Israelis are doing to Gaza than what Adolf Hitler did to them. Let's be realistic. Let's be clear about it. There is no doubt. And I think Israelis who are denying that, they just try to act in front of the Western world differently. But when they internally, they would never say that they feel sorry for any Palestinian child who dies. Never. They don't feel it in their heart.
Whatever they feel. I mean, can you be accurate?
So they seem to be talking in Hebrew right now. I'm actually using a translator. Daniel is being an emotional bitch like always. Ariel is agreeing with Daniel because he's a coon. And now he actually called us animals walking, I don't know. And something about America, God forbid if something happened to Americans, whatever. Don't worry, guys, I'm doing the translating because they're talking in their language, but I think they're trying to curse us out in their language to say certain shit.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm not going to finish where take it out. And speaking of language, just be careful with our language too. You know, my issue in this discussion is for people that will support shit like this, put whoever they are. I don't care if I don't give a fuck if you're some roach from Detroit. You know, I don't care who you are, what religion you are. This is disgusting. You support genocide, you support the Holocaust, you support whatever's happening. It's just, get some help. It shouldn't be hard to say that.
I think we should just imagine.
You have a problem first, and I think that's the scariest part. You have to know that you have an issue. You can't just be brain dead. You can't just be mentally ill. You can't just be walking around in a cloud assuming you're normal. I mean, I really want you to think about the psychopaths that walk the earth today. Most of them could never be told that they have issues or that they need therapy or otherwise. It's pretty sad. Pretty sad. We've got a president dropping F-bombs on public and international stages. Like, it's a normal cause, you know? Like, it's normal fare. Think about that. Some of the most fragile, and forgive me, I'm just going to put it out there, some of the most fragile and flaccid, tiny dick individuals are those folks. I'm not even going to put it out there on your stage. Are those folks. They have nothing better to do than sit with tweezers and try and find themselves. No pun intended. Anytime you think it's okay to kill children, and for you to like stand all 10 toes down, like that was something good to say. Caleb is a father. He's a fuck shit in my estimation. If you even heard Ariel say something like that, and you did not stand against it, pretty sick. Right.
Oh my God.
This bitch ass nigga say that I tried to get him to be my student. Is he fucking retarded?
We know that he has mental issues.
When I already know it.
He has mental issues.
Why you mad because you didn't? This man walking around with a white man on his PTR talking about other people's lives. That's pretty sick. Pretty sick. Pretty sick. You not, Ariel, you don't want me to start talking about your daddy. We got a file on that too. You really want round two? Back up, sit in the corner, eat your jello. Eat your jello. It's about to get ugly. What'd you call him? Silverback looking bitch. You need to back up.
I wish I was Caleb when I came up, because you want to know a passive-aggressive Zionist who says, I'm in your side. I'm the only one that's in your side. And I would gaslight the shit at you at the same time. That's Caleb. He will make you, he will question, like, is he, like, then you'll be like, nah, motherfucker, it's a genocide. Fuck you.
That's dumb. It's really psychopathy. It's not even a joke. I do not know one black Jewish man living over there who didn't run there trying to find himself, who didn't end up single and playing with themselves in a corner. Not one. They're either gay, like Ron/Michael, or they're devastated that some white Jewish woman didn't want them. That's how it works. That is is how it works.
Do you know Lieb? He was in here earlier.
He's kind of scary. He's kind of scary. Caleb, white man, that's not your sentence, boo. You don't get to talk about black Jews. Sit in your white supremacist patriarchal space and learn something. Your Jufro doesn't count in this court. Sorry.
Okay.
See, I'm half black. I've got a Jufro. Fuck out of here. Unless you use a pick, motherfucker, stand down. Here we go. Yeah, what a racist. Oh, now you're hurt. You can spew all kind of shit in the back chat. Well, you got the right one today. I am not Ariel. I am not Michael Ramsor. I do not grab my ankles for black or white men. Dig that. Seems like they do it for both. Both of you are fucked.
I'm surprised Davin, oh my god, Davin is the worst. Davin. I think he forgets time and space and the question that he answers. And then he'll say the question over and over again. And then he'll call you a Jew babe.
Devin is sitting in a nursing home with nothing else to do. Feel bad for him.
Bro, you guys know you guys know each other. You guys in the chat.
I think him and Norma are in the same ward. Just sit with their little green and strawberry orange jello. Yelling retorts at their phones. And their family members don't mind because at least they're not bothering the heck out of them.
I turned hand raising off just in case your thumbs get tired. So.
It's freaking scary. And he's spelling my name Ease.
I want to talk about fathers. Can we open that file, please?
Oh wait, I forgot about this guy. Oh shit.
Imagine.
I heard the rumors is, right, I don't know, look, I heard it from the streets of Clubhouse, that your father, all due respect, has done some sort of corruption.
I mean, well, be it that he was a public official, we can look it up. I mean, because we all know I'm a pathological liar, right?
No, but didn't they get him for stealing money from the city?
Be it that I'm a pathological liar, and he was a
Can we please just have straight answers? It's seriously, it's so boring, when we do this whole long drawn out thing. Because the truth of the matter, if you don't want to answer, just don't.
He wasn't, because at the time that he was in office, his contemporary was Kwame Kilpatrick. We all know what happened to him. The feds are doing a sweep on the entire southeastern Michigan. You're welcome.
What do you think the solution would be for the Middle East?
I think the Visigoths and the Vikings gotta go. They need to take their raw meat eating selves back to the mountains where they started out. Yep. I think we need to have more people who are compassionate and law-abiding, individuals who respect the Quran, people who respect the Torah. I think that'll be a start.
Not that Nation of Islam logic. Go ahead, Queen.
Daniel is talking about me having pork in my teeth. Baruch Hashem, I've never tasted pork in my life. But while we're talking, how about you take that man's pubic hairs out of your back teeth? They're affecting your brain.
How do you know everybody's sexual habits?
Actually, the last time you changed your lipstick, you left a rainbow on their dicks. That was the first time.
And you were
You have to admit when.
What kind of Diddy party was this?
You have to admit when Izzy is brutal, Izzy is freaking brutal.
I'm sorry, Tinder, but you know what? Didn't I tell y'all? Please rein me back in, because these sorry, flaccid individuals are not worth it.
Rein you back, we will not.
I'm not. They're
It's not brutal, it's funny.
Rein you back, we will not.
This is an unmarried 50-plus-year-old that's being self.
He literally
talking
gets
about
off.
it.
I'm not joking. You guys think I'm joking. He sits and creams his pants when he gets this much attention.
You can tell.
You really can.
About my sexual habits.
Like I said, I don't. All I could tell was from his trails you left on their buttholes and their penises.
Izzy, you really have to show some empathy to the pathetic soul that you're talking to. I really feel
You're
sorry
right.
for the guy.
Because I think he got shattered when people heard him reveal that he's a pathological liar.
You have no somebody how much he's hurting on the inside. He's in a lot of pain.
How do you tell that bold-faced lie?
I'm in so much pain.
And then you get revealed as someone who advocates for the killing of children on a public threat. Never mind what would happen if somebody reported that shit.
But I am sure at times when he's by himself, he cries.
I urge you.
He told me he does cry at night.
I urge you.
Damn, that's sick.
Your Palestinian nature is showing with your lives. Please don't do that to yourself.
Can somebody put his sorry behind
Didn't you get hit by a Palestinian door? He actually got hit by a Palestinian door. He told us that in my room.
Sure. What?
So if you had watched that video a little longer, you would have seen the black eye. That fat eye.
Oh my word.
Yeah,
I know.
put beats on him.
It's really interesting.
Beats on him. And actually, he got the right black Jew, because somebody should have put the beats on his behind the moment they walked up behind him. You can tell he's been out of Detroit for a while. No black man is going to allow some, I don't even want to use the F word, but you know it's there, to follow him through the streets of Israel, watching him urinate. Can you imagine you gawking at a fat black man urinating? It's just gross. It's just gross.
That's
He needs a life.
Why would he?
Imagine needing attention. Imagine needing an audience that bad that you would follow another man through the streets.
Ew.
Come on now.
I find my life
waiting for him to pee.
And mind you, I've never
Say that again.
Waiting for him to pee.
No, like that. Like it's so weird. Like he tells the story in the room that, oh yeah, I was sitting over the side and then he went to pee. Mind you, the brother is full moon out, and you up here like hawking him, man. You're fucking gross.
So a grown man is in
Very
public.
strange.
So it is
giving more than creep. You know what I'm saying? It's really creepy.
Is coming up with this story. It's
So
very
at the
strange.
end of the day, I don't mind sitting and listening to him go through therapy on Clubhouse, but other people might not. Other people might have some serious issues with that shit. Look at how many times he's on YouTube with 3 views. Come on now, he's lonely. He's
So now-
3 views.
so now-
Look, I'm talking to Captain Cesaria. Look at me. Oh, I got the white Jews to confirm that I'm really Jewish. I mean, goodness. Fucking life.
What's your obsession with white people?
Get a fucking life, man. So embarrassing.
Outside of Clubhouse?
So embarrassing.
Embarrassing to
Like,
me. Not
seriously, you just need a shower, a shave, and some meds. That might be a nice start. You look like you stink. You ever see Remember Pigpen from like Charlie Brown?
Yeah.
That's this nigga. He can't take 3 steps without shedding dandruff and dust. Wherever he goes.
Seen it. I was literally watching it. I was horrified. I had to clean my phone afterwards.
Trying to tell you. We got the nerve to say that somebody else is unkempt. Yeah, Mordecai definitely has some issues with hygiene. That's apparent. But you ain't exactly a far away second at all.
Ezzy, put your husband on the phone.
What I'm gonna do,
Why do you want to talk to her, man?
because he's a fucking homosexual. He didn't ask for my sister. He didn't ask for any one of my sisters. He asked for my husband. He's on some lot shit. Send out the men.
Quite
So
strange.
that we can have our way with them.
So you don't live with your husband?
Unlike you,
Damn,
my husband's at work, which is none of your business. But at the end of the day, I promise you. If you need to be cussed out in 3 different languages, I can make it happen for you. I'm just waiting for your sorry ass. Remember how you dipped in New York and you said you were going to make sure that we knew when you got here because you had chartered a plane, another fucking line code. At the end, because there were no flights out of Ben Gurion or anyplace else. You're a lying fucktard. A lying fucktard. There were no planes out of Israel that whole week. You can stop now. At the end of the day, please, I've already told you, we can both meet you in New York. That's my stomping ground. I guarantee you, and I'm saying it in front of everybody on this stage, you will leave without a jaw.
Yes,
you will leave without a jaw. You'll be sucking dick through your ears. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. I'm that bitch. Yes.
I will let you know the next time.
We don't have to sell wolf tickets, my nigga. You from Detroit. You know how we do.
I literally
just show up and make a phone call. All you gotta do is say, I'm here. I promise you I'll pay for that ticket.
No problem.
I promise you. Say less.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Good enough. Now you can go. Now, if you don't mind, go find you some chicken schmaltz and handle your business.
What's a chicken schmaltz?
Chicken fat. You know, it's grease. Oh no, I'm talking about sucking it off the next man's dick like you usually do.
Jeez.
Again, with my
I'm sorry. You know what?
Northerner. I really do.
No, you do. That's not the North.
Makes me feel at home. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, goodness gracious, that dude swallow a grape was falling out his ass like it's a grapefruit. Watch and see.
Why is Sheldon talking about me?
Next.
That's so weird.
Next.
He's not good at this. Come on now.
A mess.
You making Detroit look bad.
I don't understand what there is to be good at.
Making Detroit look so terrible. It's so sad.
He ain't from Detroit.
Where's he from?
Water and he thinks he lost his tan.
Where is he from?
He went in as Samuel Jackson and came out as Brad Pitt, or so he thinks.
Oh,
I'm so speaking.
Y'all ain't see that perm? You ain't see when he straightened his hair in the video? Y'all ain't see that one? Wait, hold on. Let me help you out with his greasy. Follow the drip. With his nasty Jerry curl. Follow the drip.
But yeah, I'll let you and your husband know when I'm in New York. I have no problem with that.
Damn.
Focus on her. Racing.
Because I don't know any man that would allow this. You know what? For your sake, I hope he's deaf.
I mean, it's just gotta be a little bit more funny. It's not funny.
I'm sorry, Panda.
No, it's not funny because
No,
that's the
scary.
thing.
Y'all saw the videos yourself. If you guys have not seen the videos yourself, this wouldn't even be half as funny. But you see who we're talking about. You see his little tired, small behind. How tall are you? 5'7", 5'6"? Some little behind ass legs.
No, madam, I'm 6'2".
Yeah, that was 6'2" live. Out 6'2". What universe? 6'2". You want to be 6'2".
But you don't have to believe me if you don't want to.
Brother, that was that dick you took. Hey, why wasn't you?
Hello, Black. Hello, Doctor.
Wait, Rabbi. I don't even like calling him Rabbi. He knows that. Mordecai. Mordecai, come out and play.
I'm screaming.
Oh my God.
Fuck you, boo boo.
Put your
Your baby's on stage. Your baby's on stage.
Get your own man. What's up?
Yes,
Come on.
He's nasty like that.
I just want to let him know that.
No, the reason why I'm here is Black Rabbi.
Hear you ask about
Black Rabbi.
Get your own.
It's so creepy.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Black Rabbi, it was his butt cheeks that Ariel was staring at. He claims that Mordecai went to pee and he was staring at his backside.
Why was he bothering that man?
Did you feel him watching you, Mordecai? Did you feel like a wind pass over those butt hairs of yours?
You saw him all around his fan.
Did you feel his gaze graze you in an intimate behind another man for that amount of time has serious issues. Serious issues. Imagine a man following another man home. Imagine that.
Following anybody for that matter. That's crazy.
Imagine that even happening for 2 inches in Detroit, much less 10 blocks. You waited and stalked him in a marketplace.
I did.
Followed him home.
I did.
Yes.
Yeah, how did I do that? Ezzy, please tell me, how did I do that?
He's on stage. He can answer for himself. You on video following the brother home.
How did I do that, though?
My goodness.
Because you're a stalker. And a creepy individual at that.
So why would you invite a
a
creepy
man looking at another man's backside for that long?
So why would you invite a creepy individual?
I heard that you were talking about me. So now I come for you. Bend over. Bend over now. Let me give you what I meant to give you before. Fuck out of here.
Look, Ezzy, you do that too good.
That's hilarious. It's so funny.
Wait a minute.
That was coming from a deep
remember,
place.
You remember the Raw? Was it Raw? Was it Eddie Murphy? Talking about some eight. What was his name? Oh, dang. Oh, come on, Mr. T. It was Mr. T. Bend over, put it in her. Something like that, he said. That is exactly what I thought about.
Don't put it on Eddie. Don't put that on Eddie.
It wasn't on Eddie. Was it Eddie? Yes, it was. Remember when he was trying to pretend like Mr. T was like,
that was delirious.
Was it delirious? It might have been.
Delirious was out of
mad.
pocket. Let's be for real.
It was
Delirious was all out of pocket.
It really was.
Insane.
Yeah, right. Oh my God. Don't make me want to go look at it again. Pull over.
I think you guys should ask Black Rabbi if he believes 1 year Gazan to be a terrorist. That's what he has said multiple times.
Who believes who?
This Black Rabbi character believes 1 year Gazan to be a terrorist.
1 year Gazan.
I'm going to take that back.
1-year-old Gazans, you know, from Gaza, 1-year-old.
Now, Black Rabbi, are you there?
He's there. He's on the bottom.
Black Rabbi? Jihadist, are you there?
Hey, what's up, Amir, my old friend? Hey, I'm just putting it out there, you know, I'm single, I'm just out here chilling. What's up?
I did not expect you to
Didn't I tell you to stop saying that?
Alright, so, listen, Black Rabbi,
Was he following you?
Why were you?
Hey.
Told you, we're going to get him hot tonight. We're going to be having wet dreams tonight. Black Rabbi single.
Hey, it's a chapter, it's a reality show, it's a book.
Right. When Ariel start following you again.
And ain't a joke.
Ariel stopped.
He didn't follow Ariel. Ariel followed him.
Black, is it okay if I follow you?
Yeah, please, yeah.
All right. I just
please too.
See, when I put that single out, they don't know how to act. They don't know how to act.
Right.
They don't know how to act.
Black Rabbi, put a sign on your backside saying Boston.
Black Rabbi, are you there?
Could you just tell us your side of the story? I'm just a
Damn, hello?
Yeah, what happened to you? I didn't hear you.
I'm asking Black Rabbi.
Wait, let me just get a yes or no. Black Rabbi, did Ariel follow you home?
I'm not talking about this, man.
Yes, you are. I said yes. All I'm asking for is a yes or no.
Nah.
See?
I was gonna ask Black Rabbi, why'd you snuff Ariel like that in that video we watched?
Yo, he stuffed the shit. Yo.
He could have.
You know the thing about it, maybe in a like, if I would have went a different path in life, I could have been a boxer. Like Floyd.
Okay.
Yeah, I could have, but I didn't go that
You
route.
snuffed the shit.
I didn't go that route.
Black Rabbi, you snuffed the shit out of Ariel.
I'm a peaceful man.
Sharif, don't let
you snuffed the shit out of Ariel. Do you think he deserved that?
Sharif, don't let these women gas you up.
Listen, he
Well, we
should have
watched
walked
the
away
video
with
of him
a
doing that.
cookie.
We watched.
Sharif, don't let these women gas you up.
Gave him the whole box.
Hey.
You hear me? He was walking around really looking like an Oreo poster child. For real.
I'm here for love. I'm here for
Sharif, don't let these women gas you
Yeah. And he was loving on your backside the whole time he was walking behind you.
For all the books, leave him alone.
Yes,
He doesn't
I just wanted to talk to him. I want to know, like, did he deserve that? Or Ariel, you can answer, like, do you think he deserved to be snuffed like that in the video?
Sharif, don't let these women gas
He
you
was
up.
walking behind him on that Jodeci shit. Can I talk to you? Ow. I really wanna
See, as he's
you.
too good at this.
Can I
This is
talk
like,
to
I,
you? Ow.
hey, Amir, you're trying to date. Amir, you're trying to date. That's why you're in here, right?
So, Amir had a question. He asked if a 1-year-old Gazan could be a terrorist.
Okay, so this is the thing. Amir's a
Answer the question and you better answer it right.
But but I'm saying Amir's a terrorist, and he has an issue because I believe in unity.
And answer the question right.
Can they give a direct answer to the question? Do you believe when you're a Gazan to be there?
Shut your mouth.
Okay. Shut your fucking.
Who's answering the question? I'm sorry. Who's the question? He gave a question. Amir should be answering it, correct?
No, Mordecai should be answering.
No, it's a black rabbi.
That lives in California.
I'm sorry. Let's stop. All right, one mic.
Amir's question. Black Rabbi.
Go ahead, Black Rabbi.
What I said to Amir, and I repeat this over and over again. My understanding of the Israel-Palestine conflict comes from the Palestinians I became friends with in East Jerusalem. And they explained to me specifically that Hamas, the PLO, Fatah, all these organizations do not represent them. And in fact, these organizations are kind of like philanthropist organizations.
Can you give us a direct answer instead of do you really?
Let him answer. God, do not just keep interrupting. I literally cannot, I can't do it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So Hamas, Fatah, the PLO, these are organizations that basically raise billions of dollars based off of the death of Palestinians and the destruction of their property, right? So the way that they create this mechanism of fundraising is that they take a population in Gaza and the West Bank and they radicalize them from the time that they're born, even to the point the IDF found these pamphlets that tell the man and the woman who like newlyweds when they first have intimacy to before they have intimacy to imagine conceiving a martyr, right? So like even from the time of conception, they're breeding people who are going to be suicide bombers that are going to want to kill and destroy anybody who's not part of Hamas, right? So that's what we're dealing with, and so they're trying to flip that on me like I'm the bad guy. Because they're training children. They got cartoons in Gaza right now on their television that talks about killing Jews, killing Christians, killing anyone the infidels, Muslims who agree with the Jews. This is what they're training kids as a kid. So when I bring that up as a way of a cry for help, right, as an African American, as a cry for help, people like Amir and other people on this app who are paid people that come on this app to reinforce the narrative of Hamas, the PLO, and Fatah. They're here to reinforce that, but that's not the people on the ground. The people on the ground are being massacred because of the actions done by these organizations, so these organizations, they can get richer. That's just what it is.
How is that your logic to support your belief that a 1-year-old can be a terrorist?
No, see, he switched my words, and I said that they start training children as soon as they start to be breastfed. Like when the kid is born in Gaza, they put a bullet in his mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
My God.
Wow.
Oh, man. I was so hoping that you would do better. Lord have mercy.
I'm just saying they're training these kids as children to be martyrs and to be terrorists.
Oh, it's so much worse.
He's not lying.
One mic on Dr. Priya.
When they're in utero, they read to them about how people should be murdered and how they should be bathed in blood. It's like so much worse. Forget about bullets during pregnancy. Like literally even before they get married, when they're like, hey, I like that girl, we're probably gonna get married and have kids, they start praying to the imaginary kids that they've had, that, you know, they want to have a bunch of kids that Israel can then rape and murder.
Doctor, can I ask you a question? Are you talking about Palestinians? Are you talking about...
Sister Isaac, can you ask back right back?
I'm being very sarcastic.
Oh,
He
okay.
I'm making fun of the idiocy of what that guy just said.
What did you say, Amir? What did you ask?
I said Black Rabbi made so many claims without any...
You know what the problem is? I think that when you live in insular communities, it's very easy to see everything outside of your community. It's not really all that easy to say something about yourself. I mean, imagine if I took the exact same phrase that he just put forth on this stage and said, you know what? From the time European Jews have a child, you know, they teach them to suck dick in the mikvah based on the number of pedophiles within certain European Jewish communities. Imagine how, like, stunned, appalled people would be if I said something like that. That's the same equivalent. Number one, all Palestinians are not terrorists. He knows that. He's been around Palestinians.
I said West Bank.
Wait, hold on. You've been in those places. You know that there are very beautiful, good people in those spaces. You've actually done videos with them. Stop. You've done videos with them.
Yeah.
You bragged about the fact that you used to be Sharif Hassan and that you were a Muslim for 27 years. You know damn well for 27 years of your life you were not trained to be a terrorist. You need to stop. At the end of the day, you and I also both know that many Israeli kids in Israel are trained to hate Arabs from birth. So when you're living in a crystal meth lab where hate is the order of the day, yes, children are going to internalize what they're surrounded by. But it is highly irresponsible to say that every single Palestinian child is born and raised to hate Jews, because that's just not true.
Right, but it's also important to understand that he basically brought anecdotes to a data fight, right? He's like, I know a bunch of Palestinians who told me blah, blah, blah. Like, nothing he has said can be verified.
Doctor, where are you
right?
from?
Because I can say the same thing. I know a shit ton of Palestinians because I know a shit ton of folks in my training program who were kicked out during the Nakba and went to Lebanon and Jordan and then ended up becoming residents within my program who would say the exact opposite. But that's also an anecdote, right?
The Nakba was a long time ago.
I'm so stuck on it.
Yes, thank you. I understand what I'm not sure what your point is because I do understand.
Nakba was a long time ago. How long ago?
I just want to make one point, okay?
What does that have to do with the fact that you brought up an anecdote? What does that have to do with the fact that you brought up an anecdote?
Thank you. Yeah, I just want to substantiate a couple of points. So yes, I grew up. My parents were Sunni Muslim. They got into Sufism. That's how I grew up, right? My siblings, all of us grew up. We went to Muslim schools growing up. The first language that I wrote was Arabic. We wrote from left to right, the whole thing, right? So because of that, I have an aspect of extreme sensitivity toward the Muslim world, right? Because I have seen the beauty of Muslim people, my parents being them themselves, right? And friends and cousins. My mom's brother married a Palestinian woman. So I have half African American, half Palestinian cousins, and Palestinian cousins through them, right? I guess they're second cousins, right? So I'm not coming from a place of, I'm against, Palestinians. No, it's the opposite. And what I will say is that there's 2 million Palestinians that live in proper Israel every single day that don't refer to themselves as Palestinian. They refer to themselves as Israeli Arabs, right? Because before 1967, they were either Jordanian or they were either Egyptian. After 1967 war, the Russians came, organized with Palestinian or Arab leaders, and they formed a Palestinian peoplehood as a mechanism to resist Israel's growth in the West, right? So my point is saying that so the people that are here are basically caught into this concept where they're forced to be refugees. They don't have representation. And then the people in the West who are talking free Palestine are not helping the people on the ground. They're helping the people who are making hundreds of millions of dollars off of arms deals and other types types of mechanisms of money that come in out of Gaza that are Palestinian, right? Because if you look at Palestinian leadership, most of which are dead now, these guys were billionaires, right? They're richer than Jay-Z.
So where's your proof? Where's your proof?
That Palestinian, the Palestinian leader. Wait, okay, don't cut me off. Just to be clear, you want proof that Palestinian leadership were billionaires?
I want proof that they're putting bullets in babies' mouths. I want proof that there are cartoons teaching them to kill Jews. I want proof of every bit of nonsense you've said.
Okay, I mean, well, we could have like a conversation on a podcast, whatever, and I could present all this information. It's not a problem.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
This guy's fucking insane, man. Get some help, dude. You're mental ill. Get some help, dude. Get some fucking help, will you?
You have the proof or you don't have the proof. Why does it require going on a podcast?
Don't you walk down the street and see those Palestinians? Do they tell you we are Israeli?
Let me please finish, sir. Let me finish. You have the proof or you don't have the proof. Why does it require me going on a podcast?
No, because I need
bringing an audience.
Because I want a presentation.
Are you? Yeah. So right. So again, you're here to build an audience. You're not here to tell the truth.
Okay, I mean, I talk about it on podcast now, but I'm just saying, the point is saying, if you wanted to have a clear presentation on the fact that child soldiers are being created in Palestine, you in the West are supporting the fact that children are being transformed into soldiers, suicidal entities, right? You're supporting.
All right, so hold on for a second, please. Yeah, hold on. So we gotta get at least one. Hold on for a second. We have to. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on for a second. But we have to get at least one plane. Did he go? Oh, add him to the list of people who run.
Notice though that as soon as I asked for proof, it became, let's make it into a big spectacle, let's bring in an audience, blah, 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 because there isn't proof. Hey, Rohan, when you ask me for proof of something, what is my response? Do I say, hey, let's do a podcast?
I haven't experienced that yet. I have a question for Doctor when it's my turn.
Hey.
Can I ask Doctor a question?
Question
That was me. I have a question for Doctor. Thank you so much. So, I'm making an assumption. Please correct me. You're not Palestinian, correct?
I am not.
Okay. I'm assuming, you don't have to answer, do you live in America?
Yes.
Okay. Looking at the movement from Israel to America, from what's on the ground to what's in the leaves, if you will, I see that it's cannibalizing itself. And there are some people that honestly believe that if they stay on the side of those that are perceivably empowered by popular opinion, that when the fruit falls, that they're going to be safe. So be it that you're not Palestinian and that you're American, are you siding with their cause because you believe it offers you some sort of level of safety or relatability, or it's just that this is the cause that you genuinely feel should take up most of your time?
Can someone translate crazy to English?
I have no clue.
He basically was just asking you simply, why are you siding with him? All the other words are extra, completely.
Okay, so the question is, why do I believe in the Palestinian cause? Is that the question? Because that's only like 5 words.
No, ma'am, that wasn't the question.
Oh, well, shit, I thought that was question too.
I have no idea.
Why are you
That
taking
was the
that
question
stand?
too. I had no idea.
The question was, the movement that you're identifying, with is in the process of cannibalizing itself. So when that comes time for you to be eaten, do you think that you'll be spared?
What? No.
What the fuck are you talking about? What do you...
There are so many factions within the pro-Palestinian movement that they're fighting against each other. So be it that you're someone who's not Palestinian.
I reject the premise of that statement, so I don't need to answer this question.
Okay, very good.
Even for the sake of argument, that idea is to support or fairly like like an organization. You don't have to support Hamas. You don't have to support PLO. You don't have to support anybody. All right. You just talk about like hey, the people of Palestine, they have the right to exist. And while we're at this idea of supporting the group, what do you have to say about your buddy Israel? You were giving about $20 billion a year. Who first used Hamas against PLO? And this is not something like a conspiracy theory. They accept that by themselves. Even as late as 2015, 2017, Netanyahu was, allowing, weapons to go in the hands of Hamas. All right? And now, the Israeli opposition is accusing of Netanyahu to, funding ISIS-like group in Gaza against Hamas. And they're the ones who are actually taking away all the aid that flows, and whatever the minimum that goes in. So while we're at it, can you tell me what you have to say about your tax money going into funding these the region by the hands of Israel? Any words for that?
Of course.
Are you asking me that?
No, he's asking
Who are you asking that?
He's asking me because you don't live here.
Oh.
He's asking me because you don't live here. So, we have to give them money. Because under the Oslo Accords, under our auspices, hold on, sir, I'm answering your question. Under the Oslo Accords, to simplify it, it's our responsibility to give the political structure money that runs the people. But if they decide to spend that money on guns, and they're dumb enough to use them against us, we're going to have to handle them.
Wait, who told you that, after Oslo Accords, you start giving money? You've been giving money to Israel since, the beginning, inception of it, all right? And you've been giving
No, sir,
a lot of money.
You misunderstood what I said. I said, in accordance with the Oslo Accords, they can purchase weapons with the money that the state gives them. And if they decide to make that poor choice and to use those weapons against us, it is going to be handled with extreme value.
So basically what you're saying is that you're okay with your tax money going into some genocidal work as long as they don't go attack you.
No, sir, that's not what I said at all. What I said is that they take the money that we give them. Well, let me answer your question. No, you're not sorry to interrupt me because you're interrupting me. So let me answer your question. If we give them money, which is what we're supposed to do, and under the Oslo Accords, they can use that money to buy guns. When they make the poor decision to turn those guns against us, it will be handled with extreme brutality.
Okay, and who are you talking about? Who would these people be? Are the Israelis or Palestinians?
Israel is responsible for giving Palestinians money. They receive money from two different sources: the international community, such as kind-hearted people like yourself, and the country that they live in. We have to give them money so they can sustain their infrastructure. But when they choose to use that money to buy weapons of war, they will be handled with extreme brutality.
I think,
it's always...
you do not know what you're talking about, with all due respect. Because here's the thing, okay, English is my second language, all right? I may not be understanding, but if anybody here is understanding what you're saying, all right, then, then okay, then probably maybe I'm not understanding you correctly, right? That's maybe, my fault. But if everybody here, including native English speakers, are not able to understand a word that you're saying, then maybe you need to work on your skills. That being said, the money we're talking about is not the aid that Israel gets for Palestinian people. We're talking about the $5.8 billion civilian aid that Israel gets for their own selves. Not for Palestinians, not for Palestinian infrastructure, but for themselves. And this is the $5.8 billion check that's given every year without, no questions asked. Other than that, they get military aid that where they get billions of dollars, and only Israel is the one who gets that aid. They're the ones who are, spending that money. They're the ones who Palestinians. It's not anyone else but the Israelis. So maybe, just maybe, try to like research before, making a fool out of yourself. No.
So, I don't know if you understand how that money is delegated, but it's very simple. When I was living below the poverty line, I would receive one card, which I could use to buy food, and the other card was used for me to buy medicine. I can't use one for the other and vice versa. And it's the same situation. They're not sending us boatloads of cash as your imagination.
Oh, wait. Are you that Michigan guy? Are you the Detroit guy?
Hold on, sir.
Are you the Detroit guy? Oh, okay.
Hold on, sir. You're screaming, but you're not listening. Like you said, English is your second language, so please have mercy on yourself and listen very carefully. It's not cash money. It's credit and it's debt. Some of that money has to be allocated to the people who live under your control. And if they make the poor choice to use that money for weapons, they will be and are handled with extreme brutality. You got two choices. You can buy bullets or you can buy corn. They're like, hey, we're going to buy bullets. And now they're dealing with the consequence.
This is
only one last thing, and then I'll let you speak my brother. So everybody here, right, this guy, he's coming here. This guy on record has said that how he has, killed 12.
You're late to the party. We already went through that.
And like, he has, how he, children, or Palestinian children. So, whatever he say that presents, take it from a grain of salt. It's kind of like, talking to a terrorist.
Arslan, just as an FYI, we all know fully well who he is. We understand the talking points. We understand the whole ridiculous, ludicrous setup of, because this has been the standard lie for decades, right? It's just that now that the world has actually seen Israel's actions live streamed, we all fully are aware of what those lies actually mean, right? Because essentially he's pretending that it is not enshrined in international law that if you are an occupied group that you do not have the right to armed resistance, which you actually do. It is enshrined in international law. This idea that it is a war or something like that is bullshit, right? Because it ignores every single crime that Israel has been committing for decades against the Palestinian people. So again, everybody that you're hearing on this stage, everybody in the chat that's making up all this stuff, we are fully aware that this is the death knell from a desperate ideology that has been exposed. So it's honestly, you gotta just kind of listen and frankly laugh, because I am incredibly amused. I actually find it very entertaining to listen to the desperation of people trying to justify bombing hospitals, raping doctors to death, killing people because an occupied and brutalized group of people fought back. Now, I'm not condoning violence against civilians or anything of that matter, but I am also not someone whose entire bloodline has been massacred. I am not someone who has watched my children be taken for throwing a rock. I am not someone who has had my child sit in jail for decades with no representation or die as a hostage of Israel. I am not someone who, at the age of 12 years old, was tied to an IOF Jeep and used as a human shield, right? Every accusation we fully understand as a confession.
Well, ma'am, to your point, to your credit, what you said, a portion of it is correct. They are.
I should just let you know that everything you say I pretty much ignore.
Okay, very good. So I just want to let you know that to a point what you're saying is correct. And I do find it interesting that you are entertained because you have no skin in the game. You have no skin in the game. So
it's definitely hugely important to me that you feel that something I've said is correct. Let me assure you that your opinion on everything I've said is incredibly important to me.
Your smug, white liberal attitude is not helping the cause. It's actually hurting.
Yeah, I'm not white.
You said, which is why you said, well, you could have fooled me. Which is why I said that it's interesting that you said you're entertained.
The fuck up. Rohan. Panda, Rohan, Corey.
I'm here, T. Lee. I'm listening in.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm hanging in. How you doing?
Alright. Just trying to, I don't know how long this room has been open, just trying to get some direction. Hold on. We've heard Burnt to a Crisp today, which is a crazy ass level, because we've heard it all in this room. I'm bored. I'm bored by it. Are there any Zionists in here? I think this room really has one question. And do Zionists deny genocide is occurring in Israel? And that's it. So, when I find, and you're always boring, Ron, Black Ron. Oh, Midas, you ran away earlier. Why? Midas, I'm sorry, I confused him with the other black dude that we say calls crazy shit. I'm so sorry. Black Rabbi. Black Rabbi.
Yeah, I'm here.
Where did you go?
I'll let you boy. I'm here with you. Say.
Where did you go earlier?
Yeah, I just, I moved, it's a lot of action.
Hello? Stop talking like that.
Action.
Oh. Where did you go?
I had people come over, I have a lot of action, a lot of stuff.
A lot of action.
Yeah. You come by.
I wanted to see if you.
We're having a party.
No. I wanted to see if you,
It was arrogant. Door.
Give us like one piece of evidence, like the bullet in the baby bullet thing or anything, just one.
I can fire.
I can't hear you.
Yeah. You just gotta look it up. It's like,
I can't hear you.
It's not like, you can't hear me?
Yeah. Wait, we just made shit.
Can you hear me? I hear you.
It's that.
Okay, sorry.
Sort of related.
So. No, please don't.
Oh, I was just gonna say, if you ever, I know that y'all have been discussing the ICJ, the International Court of Justice, which is at The Hague, but.
Damn, Black Rabbi, can I hear it?
Oh, I was just gonna say, if you all have an opportunity to go to Den Haag and go to the International Criminal Court, definitely take a tour. It is amazing. It's fascinating. It really gives you a good idea of why the U.S. and Israel are so hard to pin down for war crimes committed by both countries. It is you actually get to sit in on court sessions that are going on. So like I sat in on a appeal from Venezuela for crimes committed by their soldiers against one of the local indigenous populations. I mean, obviously it's translated, right, because it's an international court. So sometimes the prosecutors aren't speaking in English or like French or Latin. I think the prosecutor in this case was speaking a dialect of a local Venezuelan Spanish. That's what the prosecutor's native language was. So it was a really, really fascinating look. So you take a tour of the facilities, then you go sit in on part of a court trial, and then you go and hear a presentation about the history of the ICC, what it takes to bring a case to the ICC, how a prosecutor makes a determination about whether a case is valid or not. It's a really fascinating look into international law.
Oh shit. That's a great idea. I'm gonna do that. Black Rabbi.
I'm here for you.
Yeah, I was wondering if you can send a link or something, or like just tell you don't have to do it anymore. Just tell me how to find the baby bullet thing you're talking about.
Type it in.
It'll be baby and go, baby. Tell me what to type in. I have it open now.
Like, you know, like Palestinian, put in Palestinian baby birth bullet.
Mark, Ariel asked me to play a song for you.
We guys work together?
You ready for it?
You guys work together?
Really, really is. No, I'm not joking. It's starting to freak me out.
You're part of it. You're part of it.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Leave the door
Hey, I think Black Mirror. After the song, like, give us evidence about the cartoons about like killing Jews and Christians in Gaza. You need evidence, man. Like, you cannot say something like that and you move on. You cannot, man. You cannot.
I think you need to eat that one, Monica.
Like, really, how can you sleep? Like, even if I want to lie, like, lying like that, I cannot sleep at night, you know?
Hey, I'm sure
and you are okay, like, you are chill, man, like, you lie like that and you are chill in the room, no problem for you, like...
Do you have proof to back that up?
The Free Palestinian movement is organized by the military-industrial complex.
No, you made a statement about Palestinian children. I asked if you have.
Yeah, I mean, just type in. You can type in cartoons. Radicalizing Palestinian children.
Yes, put the link for us, even in Hebrew, like, put the link for us.
I typed in a thing about the bullet thing. I typed it in. He said type it in. To type it in. It says that this is like propaganda, good sir. Let me go back.
Bro, come on, man. I mean, why you like...
You told me to type it in. Hold on.
You don't understand,
bro. You told me... No, hold on. You told me to type it in. Did you not? I didn't make it up. So you told me to type it in. I typed it in. And it's talking about it being propaganda. A myth. A lie. Fake.
It's a real thing.
Made up. It's a real thing, but you can't provide any evidence for it. And when I look for evidence,
Black Rabbi. Can't even hear him.
I know. I'm chilling.
Yeah, I can hear him.
I'm chilling.
So I got a better question. Mordecai, have you ever experienced racism?
Wait. 1 second. Go ahead. Did you finish?
Not really. Hold on. I want to read that for a second.
Okay.
Let me just refind it 1 second. Okay. All right. So here's what it says.
While you're looking for it, I typed it into just. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you did? You found it?
Yeah, I didn't find it. I just typed it into Google and I didn't get. All I got is Israeli forces killed Palestinian child with expanding bullet. Over 100 bullet fragments in the brain of Palestinian child shot by Israeli soldier. I got all this crazy stuff, so I just gave up. I didn't want to hear this.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what you got.
So wait, let me get this straight. So wait, let me get this straight. So black.
All right, so when I did a search, it says this is not true. It's a dangerous myth that's being propagated. It's a form of dehumanizing propaganda that aims to paint Palestinian civilians, including children, as inherently violent. It says Palestinian children, like all children, are innocent and vulnerable victims of the conflict, not actors in violence. Why these myths exist? They aim to dehumanize the other side, justify harsh military measures, and influence public opinion by making civilians seem like threats. Palestinian babies and children are civilians who need protection under international law. So it's just fake, completely made up, bro. And the fact that you spread it on stage in front of so many people is offensive, but it should be embarrassing. It's
Wow.
Okay, so Black Rabbi claims that we Palestinians do what exactly? We feed our children bullets. What's the deal there?
The bottom line is like this: in Gaza, in the West Bank.
I think as you was talking.
All right. I mean, I thought people were talking to me. I was just responding. I mean, I'd be quiet.
No worries.
So you see Palestinians every day in Jerusalem, right? You see them like biting. What do you see? Eating bullets? What? Do you see them going to school or what do we? Like we Palestinians, like we
to be terrorists from since like the as an infant, even starting at the as a baby.
Yeah. Every day in the morning when I take my kids to school, I give them like an M60 and I say go, go, and I put a target and I train them to shoot, to shoot.
See, that's how this is part of the manipulation. So.
You're such a sick fat fuck. That's what you are. You're just a sick fat fuck. That's what you are. You're a mentally ill fuck. That's what you are. You need fucking help. What fucking truth? You're fucking mentally ill, dude. You're fucking mentally ill. Why don't you just admit it? Seek some fucking help. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're a fucking lost soul, dude. You live in Jerusalem. You see Palestinians on a daily basis. You even told me where you fucking live. And I know the fucking shit you walk on every fucking day, and you see Palestinians fucking training their kids to what? To shoot other people? What the fuck is wrong with you? What is fucking with you? You're a sick individual, dude. Because you're a fucking sick individual. You're just a sick individual. You need some fucking help.
This is a tactic. This is the tactic to silence them. You just call them, say a bunch of inhabitants over.
Because you are such a fucking outrageous shit. You're such an outrageous fucking. You say some outrageous shit.
What if he said that all Jews were a bunch of crooks, some bunch of the garbage? What?
Let me respond, and I think I'll answer your question. So again, as I stated earlier in this conversation, there's 2 billion Palestinians that live in cooperation and synchronicity with the rest of the Israeli population. The issue that we're talking about is the radicalization of the children in Gaza, the radicalization of the people in the West Bank. That is the issue that we're dealing with. And so from that perspective, they want to switch that and say, I'm attacking all Palestinians. I'm not talking about Palestinians are fighting the IDF. Palestinians are police officers outside. If I go to any hospital here in Jerusalem, it's going to be mostly Palestinian doctors, surgeons, physicians, the whole thing. So no one has anything against Palestinians. Again, I wanted to interject, please, Dr. Black Rabbi. And so what I'm saying is saying that there are people outside of the region of Gaza, in Ramallah, and all these other areas that are in the Middle East that have been using the Palestinian concept as a way to resist the West. And so they created a narrative around a people. The Palestinian people, that the real Palestinian people were Jews. The Romans called the land Judea, they call it Palestine, Philistine. That's what they call it. It's a Greek word. They did that to rename the region from Judea to Palestine. The people that we're talking about, Palestinian people, was invented after 1967. They invented it. Them and the Russians and the Arabs invented a people.
Enough. Yeah, you bring a lot of points. Can we? I mean, let me answer one, please.
Calm down.
I mean, you bring a lot of points.
This guy also. But the point is just saying. So they came. So these people came and they created a people as a means of political resistance. This has nothing to do with an indigenous people that are living in a land that are getting moved out. This is political resistance used via a people. And we in the West, we get our heartstrings.
You are not in the West, if you say, and literally,
please. So, Black Rabbi, you know, everything you mentioned here, every lie, if you can put your mic on mute, please. Put your mic on mute because I need to respond, please. Okay. You brought a lot of points.
Black Rabbi, please.
Wait, I'm not finished. You're cutting me off.
Okay, I mean, you mentioned a lot of, you mentioned about the Palestinians in Israel, about the Palestinians in the West Bank, about the name of Palestine, about how the Romans changed the name.
Yeah.
You mentioned a lot of points, you know?
And then we don't
I
exist.
don't wanna, I mean, do you wanna, you wanna wrap it up? I'll wait for you. You wanna wrap it up? I'll wait for you. Okay, you know, Black Rabbi, everything you mentioned here, all the lies that you spewed here, we spoke about them in a different room, and you apologized to me actually one time for citing something that is wrong in history, if you remember. But I am going, so you spoke about the Palestinians, how they are living on equal footing inside Israel, 2 million people, and this is wrong. I'm not gonna answer it, just one. You spoke about how Palestinians who are being oppressed with all measures possible under Israel's disposal in the West Bank and the Gaza Strip, how they are being just radicalized, and this is wrong. You spoke about the Romans, how they changed the name of Judea into Palestine, and I mentioned to you last time that Judea was a place inside Palestine, and Palestine was defined by people who came before the Romans. It was defined by the Greek, and I cited to you more than one person. I read that to you from a book. More than one person defined Palestine as the area from the Mediterranean Sea all the way to Petra in Jordan. This is before the Romans came. And Judea was a small place inside this whole area that was known as Palestine before Judea. But nevertheless, what amazes me, everyone here, actually asking a Black Rabbi a question is oxymoronic. Black Rabbi suffers from an identity crisis. He is an African American. I am a Palestinian. We Palestinians are inspired by African Americans because we think that we went through the same experience, through the same project of settler colonialism, and the same tactics that settlers and white people used to use against African Americans, against black people before, during slavery, during Jim Crow, and even until today. Black Rabbi is using them now against Palestinians. In my opinion, Black Rabbi, he wanted to feel, he wanted to be on the side of the oppressor, to see how it feels. How did white people felt during Jim Crow when they segregated black people into small, tiny areas and deprived them of education and housing and employment and all of that. How did it feel for white people? How they justified all of that? He wants to feel it now from an Israeli perspective. Black Rabbi has no conscience. And I don't want to keep talking, but I can show the same way I showed him last time when he mentioned that Palestinians live under equal footing inside Israel, how he is wrong. But I'm going to stop here. Black Rabbi has no shame, basically. So it will be a moot idea to engage him in any topic on Palestine and Israel.
The mood, I apologize. And I felt every word that you said. Believe me, I did. And I do understand the pain of knowing that others were oppressed and that they're turning their back or a blind eye to your own oppression. Just know that while Black Rabbi considers himself a rabbi amongst black folk, that he is not. And there are real Jews who can hear you, who can see you, who understand you, and who commiserate with you in real ways. Not just with their words, but with actions as well. I'm sorry.
You are easy, for sure. You don't have to apologize. I've spoken to you in the past. I know your background, and I'm sure you know my background. And I want to add one thing. Black Rabbi actually gives a very bad image about the religion of Judaism. At least as a Zionist Jews, at least we, they have something like a point. At least, like they say, well, we are a one people. A black rabbi is only used like, okay, if I go to convert to Judaism, then I become an oppressor. In my opinion, he is hijacking, he is misrepresenting or insulting the religion of Judaism. Because, of course, his blood is not, of that of the Jews. If we are supposed to say that they are one people, of course they're not. But just for him, adopting the Jewish religion, thinks that giving himself the right to stand on the side of the oppressor. And in my opinion, this is an insult to the religion of Judaism.
Look, thank God, like here we are in time of internet, and today like the real voice of Jews is here, the voice for peace, Jews in America, secular Jews, even in Jerusalem, in Marat Sharim, Carter there, like they are against Zionism, so their voice is heard, and we respect them, and there is many Jews against Zionism, you see, but those people control the media, so you cannot hear them in the media. And the thing, at least like Rohan, give an explanation, it's a lie information, so I will move on, I will not go back to the past about what blacks say about the cartoons in Gaza, teach children to kill Christian and Jews, which is a lie, a big lie. And a proof for that, like the old church in Gaza, it's so old, so historical, of Greek Orthodox. Never the quote-unquote terrorist, extremist of Hamas didn't even touch that church. And now it's bombarded and struck and destroyed by what? By the IDF, by the Zionists. They destroyed the church, not Hamas destroyed the church. So who teach you those IDF soldiers, those pilots to destroy that church? That's the one. In Jerusalem, if you live in Jerusalem, there is videos, you cannot say it's a lie. There is maybe at least 5 videos. Jews in Jerusalem, Zionists, not like normal Jews, they spit on Christians. So who teach those Jews? They give them cartoons about Christians to spit on them because they are pagans? Like, if you are religious, if you are a rabbi, give me explanation of this. Black rabbi.
Tahanis, there is a movie, a film, documentary called The Children of Ailabun. Ailabun is a Palestinian Christian town in Palestine. And those survivors of the Nakba, 1948, tell their stories. And we have seen dogs in Gaza eating Palestinian flesh. The same thing actually took place in 1948. You can go and watch the movie. It's called Children of Ailabun. It's in English and in Arabic, Abnaq Ailabun in Arabic. And you can watch a testimony from the survivors. One person